Hey guys, what's up? It's Bronto75 here and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm continuing my retrospective on the classic Mega Man series, in which I'm going to be playing every single mainline game with the exception of some spin-offs. And this time I'm going to be covering Mega Man The Wily Wars, released on the Sega Genesis back in 1994. And this game right here is a rather very interesting twist for the series up to this point, as Mega Man, despite being a series created by Capcom, he was always associated with Nintendo. He was always associated with Nintendo. In the case of having his games be only on Nintendo platforms, which were the NES and the Super NES, the latter of which the first Mega Man X title had just released on a year prior to this. But in this case, however, when they made this game, they decided to release it on a non-Nintendo platform for the very first time in the franchise, and that is on a Sega console. And I believe this is one of the only games to be released on a Sega hardware. The others being Mega Man 8, in which I brought up in my video on that game, as well as a version of Mega Man 5 on the Sega Game Gear, which literally nobody plays for obvious reasons. And yeah, and also the most interesting thing about this game is that it completely remakes the first three Mega Man games on the NES, which are Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. And each game has been updated with new visuals, some new gameplay physics and tweaks. Although there are some pros and cons to that once we start playing the game. And even the soundtrack has been remixed with the Sega Genesis sound chip. And the Sega Genesis, despite not owning the console for myself, I still have a lot of nostalgia with it, as I played Sonic Mega Collection. On the PS2 and Xbox, and that's where I got introduced to not only Sonic the Hedgehog, but a lot of other Sega IPs and all that jazz. But yeah, and it's one reason why I grew up with that more than the NES or the Super NES. But yeah. So anyways, and as you can see, I am playing this on the Nintendo Switches online, through the Sega Genesis app, or I don't know what the Sega Genesis online software thing, or whatever they call it, because again, I don't own an actual Sega Genesis to play this game. Anyways, we're gonna read the details. Right here. It says released in 1994, number of players 1, and yes, I did put a lot of playtime into this game. The last time I played this game fully was in 2022, and it was only up until recently where I did a practice run on this game, played through all 3 games, and then this special mode, which I'm about to mention later. And yeah, so that's the main reason why I am including this game, and that's the main reason why I'm including this game in this retrospective, as it is a third spin-off. It's probably going to be the third and final spin-off that I'll be covering in this retrospective. The first I did was Mega Man Base, and the other was Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. So feel free to check out those videos if you haven't already. Anyways, so we're gonna read right here. The first 3 games in the re-owned Mega Man series compiled for the Genesis/Mega Drive. Beat all 3 games to unlock Wily Tower, where you can challenge a new boss. Let's freaking go. Even the Capcom sound has been Sega Genesis-ified, or I don't know if that's an actual word. Alright, here you go. Alright, so here's our opening. And I wonder what Dr. Light is doing with Mega Man here. Oh, okay, so he's explaining the schematics of his son. And I'm loving this music. And look at Mega Man, he's so happy. Oh, what just happened? Somebody turned on the dark. Oh boy. I have no idea who those Whoa. What? Oh, so that's where that artwork was from. I think when I looked through the gallery, I already forgot. Yeah, when I looked at the museum for Mega Man 3 from when I did my video on that game for this retrospective, there was actually this artwork to where it shows Mega Man, Roll, and Light cramped up with all the robot masters from the first 3 games, and I think it might have came from this game. Kind of interesting. But anyways, this is Mega Man: The Wily Wars, released for the Sega Genesis. It says licensed by Sega Enterprises. So yeah, and interestingly, so while this game was in development, one of the most well-known Sonic artists, named Greg Martin, had actually made artwork of Sonic and Mega Man meeting each other. I'll probably post it on the screen somewhere. And while I do love his art style for Sonic, his art style for Mega Man was not that great, to where his face just looks a little weird, and he just looks he kind of looks like he just kind of looks I don't know, kind of evilish or something. But yeah, it's pretty funny. I remember saying that. I remember saying that at some point when I was younger. Sometime before I even became a fan of this franchise. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Also very interesting how 20 years later, these two iconic characters would end up having a crossover in the Archie comics. And believe you me, it's literally one of the best crossovers in fiction history. I will see that right now. Anyways, we're gonna go into the option mode. So I am playing this on Switch, obviously. So I do want the I am gonna map the B button to the actual B button on the Switch controller, and I'm gonna map the shot. Okay, so I'm gonna map the A button to the Switch's Y button, and have the window button, have the C button be the A button on the Switch controller. So yeah, so that'll always be my preferred way of playing these games. Alrighty, so this game has 3 save files, so I'm gonna overwrite this save file right here. No, okay, there, here. Okay, so I just need to hit clear first, and then I can overwrite this save file. Nice. Alrighty. Alright, so of course, as stated before, this game is a collection as well as remakes of the first 3 Mega Man games on the NES. You got Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, and Mega Man 3. So obviously, we are going to start with Mega Man 1 first, as it is the first game of the series that released in 1987. Which, by the way, this franchise will be turning 40 years old next year at the time of this video. And I also love how they used the Japanese. I also love how they used the Japanese title screen from the original NES game. If you play the Japanese version. Also interesting is how they played the Mega Man 3 intro theme for this title screen. Not sure why they felt the need to do it, since no music played when booting up the original NES version. Yeah, it sounds pretty great. So yeah, so as usual, we're gonna be starting off with not Cutman. We're gonna be starting off with Gutsman first. Oh my god. Yeah, so I already covered these first 3 games in their original videos, which are about a year old at this point. So yeah, so feel free to check them out. I will put the card on the card on the top right of the screen. Yeah, so here is Wily Wars right here. So yeah, in addition to new graphics and new visuals, and the new remake and the Sega Genesis renditions of these songs, Mega Man also has a new sprite. Oops, I died. That's fine. I'll take a death. But Mega Man also has a new sprite, and shockingly enough, the first time I've seen this sprite was in that one fan-made series called Mega Man Dies at the End, and I had no clue that wow, I died again. Okay, I'm gonna use the rewind feature. But yeah, I had no clue that the sprite came from this game. So yeah, pretty crazy, because that series was made by the same people that did Sonic for Hire. Dang it! Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna be using the rewind feature a lot, because I don't really have any intentions of playing through this the intended way. So yeah, I'm still gonna do. Dang it! I'm still gonna do what I do in my past videos again. Let me concentrate here. There we go. But yeah, so I'm still gonna do what I do in the past videos to where these are not gonna be casual playthroughs, as I will intentionally exploit glitches or use some speedrunning techniques that I did learn from the speedrunners, just in case. Anyways. So yeah, so these guys can be pretty. Those guys there can be pretty tricky. So yeah, so you just gotta move. You just gotta move out of the way of their pickaxes, so that way, what is it? They can be wide open. Right, and right here is where you can encounter the big guys. And oh, okay, nice. Okay, got good RNG out of that big guy there. He decided to jump high, which is great. So that way I can get past him without taking damage. Alright, so on to the final stretch. Just gotta get rid of these Mets first before they get a chance to fire. Alrighty, and coming up to Gutsman right here. So of course, even in this version, this man just loves to give me a bad pattern. Okay. Shoot. Okay, I feel like he's gonna try to get close. Psh. Yep, knew it. Screw you, Gutsman. You suck. Oh my god. I had a sick feeling he tried to do this. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Guts. I swear, the way Gutsman behaves in both the original and in this remake is very dependent on RNG. Because like sometimes he'll just he'll stay at that same spot. Other times he'll just move towards you. It's really annoying. So I had a sick feeling that would happen in this video. So literally nothing I can do about that. Anyways, next up is Cutman. And again, I really dig these new sprites. Like they all look. I feel like most of them look way better than they did on NES. So pretty good stuff. Oops. Okay, so the good thing about this game is that there's no input delay, but there are times where it does still throw me off a little. Here we go. Man, I'm already liking this new background. This was not in the original NES game. So yeah, pretty sick. And I'm already loving the Genesis rendition of this track. It was already great in the original, but man, this one sounds just as good. Anyway, trick right there to where Mega Man can immediately turn around. After jumping. So that is something that you can do in the original NES game as well. In my case, though, I've only played it through the Legacy Collection, which does have a lot of input lag, even when playing on the PS4 version. Yeah, but thankfully with the Wily Wars version, there's no input lag, because I am playing this on the Switch. So, because I think as far as I know, they managed to remove most of the lag that would happen a lot if you were to play on an actual Sega Genesis or through an emulator. Alright, so because this is a remake, they unfortunately had to patch out a lot of glitches, and that right there is one of them, because in the original NES game, when I did during that video that I did last year, you can actually jump to the top of the screen to make Mega Man teleport to the bottom. So yeah, so that's a trick that I enjoy doing. That's a trick that I enjoy doing in most of my playthroughs, but yeah, unfortunately they had to patch that out in this game. So you're not gonna be seeing that in this video. Anyways, up against Cutman here, and he is weak to Gutsman. So can I? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I need him to. Yes. Okay, so that I can do this. Okay, got him. There we go. Just need to make sure I do not miss, because if you miss one of those Gutsman shots, yeah, that's gonna provide a lot of hindrance, because unlike in the original NES game, Cutman does not take 3 damage from the Mega Buster, and he instead takes 1 damage. So it's safe to keep that in mind. And there's also another gameplay element that they changed for this port to where he's now I think Fireman's weapon now does decent damage to Cutman. So I will be showing that off when we get to Wily Stage 2. Anyways, next up is Elecman. Let's do it. God, I love the Sega Genesis' sound chip. And again, even though I didn't grow up with that console, or even though I never owned a Sega Genesis console, I still have a lot of nostalgic memories with it. And the soundtracks that I've heard of most games that I played on the Sonic Mega Collection Plus, like especially like some of the Sonic games and other IPs and stuff, man, I'll never not cherish this. Psh, psh. And also, this is different to where Mega Man can now climb ladders faster than he did in the original NES game. So yeah, another solid improvement there. Alright, can I get off this jump? Come on. There we go. So I also did that in the original video as well when I covered the NES version. Alright, I forgot I don't have the Magnet Beam yet. Oops. But yes, you do still need Gutsman's weapon in order to get the Magnet Beam. And you also still need it in order to progress through Wily Stage 1 as well. Alright, there it is right there. So switch to Gutsman so that we can remove these blocks, and whoosh, now we have access to the Magnet Beam. Let's freaking go. Alright, so we're gonna switch to it, and we're gonna be using it for the rest of the stage until we reach the boss room. Very nice. I'm gonna take it nice and slow to avoid getting hit by those electricity thingies. And that guy's just gonna kill himself. Freaking idiot. The enemies in this game can be pretty stupid sometimes, just like in the original game. Anyways, second use of Magnet Beam actually, since I did have to use it to avoid that Gale Ball thing, or whatever it's called. Can I get this off? Ah, dang, okay, messed it up. It's fine. And screw you, Big Eye. But I will say though, the Magnet Beam kind of functions a little weirdly in this game. So it's a bit hard to explain it, but I think it depends on how long. I think it depends on how long you hold the. It depends on how long you hold the shot button. But yeah, it also feels really slower too. So yeah, best to keep that in mind. Alright, take it nice and slow. Oh wow, did I go through the stage no damage? Oh, yeah, I think that might be my first time doing that. Oh, here we go. Oh my god, Elecman. Hold still, dude. There we go. Yeah, he moves a lot faster in this version than in the original NES game. Yeah, no matter though, he went down easy as pie. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this in my original video, but there's actually a trick to defeating Elecman without his weakness, to where if you watch his visual cue to where he raises his arms before he fires his thunder beam, Mega Man can actually interrupt them, and you can actually loop that instance until he dies. So yeah, that is a trick that you can do. I did post that as a short on my second channel. So yeah, that is a trick that exists. And big shoutouts to the speedrunner Cool Kid for revealing that trick in his speedruns. Anyways, next up is Iceman. Alright, here we go. Oh my god, the graphics of the stage. It looks freaking awesome. Like, you did not see. Oh my god. Okay, I'm already screwing up here. Man, it already looks so much better than on NES. Very peak. Anyways, we're gonna use Elecman here. Why did that miss? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna use Elecman here, and as I stated in my original video on Mega Man 1, This move is the most busted in the entire game, as it can pretty much destroy pretty much almost everything in one hit, and it can hit more than once too. So it's still one of my favorite weapons in the entire classic series. Anyways, we can skip this with the Magnet Beam, as we're not gonna deal with that. We're not gonna deal with these disappearing and reappearing blocks. Perfect. Alright, can I get through this? Let's see. Oop. Nice, okay, I got that first try. Whoa, oh my god. Almost fell off there. Oh yeah, there's a chance that those penguin enemies can respawn indefinitely. That was something that Cool Kid mentioned in one of his speedrun videos. Okay, can we avoid this dude? No, we can. Okay, I tried. Yeah, the magnet beam functions really weird in this game. I don't know why. That's fine. Nice. Oh, why did it spawn up there? All right, weird. Anyway, here comes Iceman. And again, he's weak to the Thunder Beam. Psh, nice. He's down. Yeah, again, the Thunder Beam, one of the best. Again, I'll never not love the Thunder Beam. Like, even in this version, it is still overpowered as hell. Can literally just pierce through everything like they're nothing. Alrighty. Alright, save our file. Alrighty, next up is Fireman, who is weak to Iceman. Iceman's Ice Slasher. Wow. Okay. The visuals on this stage I love. It's probably my favorite looking in this entire game. Like it kind of looks like the visuals and graphics look a lot similar to Magma Dragoon stage from Mega Man X4. If you play the Saturn version of that game, like you're gonna see it momentarily. Yeah, look at this. It looks so awesome. Like it low-key kind of looks like we're in hell right now, but in a more cooler way. I use Magnet Beam to get up here. So I did do this in the original video as well. So I will be recording each session. I will be recording these 3 games in one session. So yeah, I will be putting all of this in one video. So I don't know how long it'll be, but yeah. Because pretty much on every playthrough, you do have to play through all 3 games so that you have access to the Wily Tower mode, which, by the way, is one of the best gameplay modes in the entire series. Yeah, I'll get into that once we do. Anyway, use Magnet Beam to skip this part. I still don't know how you're supposed to get past that without. Taking damage. I think that's what Cool Kid was able to do. What is it? In one of his speedruns, to where he played a mod that to where Mega Man only has 1 HP. Yeah, I'm an intermediate player of this game, but I am by no means an expert. So I'm not super skilled at this game like he is. Okay, is this dude gonna respawn indefinitely? Okay, thank God. Okay, use Iceman to freeze these flame towers. Okay, never mind. Somehow only one got affected. There we go. Alrighty, and we can just keep on running forward because these turrets will never hit you. If you keep on running, these turrets will never hit you. So yeah. Good to know they got Stormtrooper aim. Anyways, here is Fireman. And interestingly, he's actually a lot easier in this game than the original NES version, where he doesn't fire multiple flamethrowers at once. Wow, very nice. I almost did that no damage, but either way, it's fine. Let's go. I also like how the game doesn't freeze when Mega Man gets that thing, whatever it's called, after he beats the Robot Masters. He just stands there. Anyways, last stage, which is Bomb Man. So again, Mega Man 1 is the only game in the series to where it has 6 robot masters as opposed to the usual 8 like in the later games. Alright, here we go. And once again, use the Leg Man to get rid of these grasshopper looking enemies. I forget what they're called. I think they're called fleas or something. I don't remember, but yeah. They can be pretty treacherous at times. And man, I love the looks of this stage too. And considering that the Sega Genesis is a 16-bit console, and that the NES was an 8-bit console, yeah, of course you're gonna see. Of course, there's gonna be a lot of these cool graphical updates. See. Amazing stuff. All right, switch to Iceman so that we can freeze this upcoming Sniper Joe. Very nice. So yep, just like in the original game. Okay. Come on, unfreeze. Okay. Alright, we're gonna use Elecman. And there's also another strange glitch that I think can happen here, to where those bullet bills will sometimes spawn here, other times they don't. So I think that's affected by I think that has to be affected by RNG. Because of my original video, they didn't spawn there for some reason. Now this time they didn't. Now this time in this video they did. So yeah, rather inconsistent. I don't know what's the point of that Sniper Joe being stuck there. But we are gonna get rid of this next one. Thankfully, the Thunder Beam still does the most damage to him. Nice. Get the heck out of here. Alright, come into Fireman, which requires us to climb all the way down. Did I say Fireman? Did I say Fireman? Bomb Man! Oh my god. Come out to Bomb Man, and he's weak to Fireman. And this one requires us having to slowly climb down and not get hit by those Susie enemies. And here he is, right here. There he is. Like how they just spawned in for no reason. Shoot. I like how he looks completely different in this game, as opposed to the original NES version. Alrighty, but anyways, that's the end of him. So yeah, so definitely a lot of gameplay changes. It's pretty crazy to think that this game wasn't even 10 years old yet, and they still chose to remake it. Because, like, how many years? Let's see. Yeah, this game was 7 years old by this point. And Mega Man 3 was still a recent game. Mega Man 3 was still a recent game by this point, so yeah, it's rather crazy that even at this time, games were actually being remade. And it's also crazy to think that Mega Man essentially got the Super Mario All-Stars treatment, in which I think it's pretty much for the same reason as this, to where they remade the first couple of Mario games on the NES. I think like the first 3 games or something. Anyways, we're about to go up against Dr. Wily. Alrighty. Alright, so this stage has the first 3 big guys, so we're just gonna freeze the first 2. So we're gonna freeze that one first. There's a second one that's about to come out right now. Okay, we can get past them just fine. All right, and take an attentional damage boost from that third one, so that we can save enough magnet beam energy. Okay, so let's use a Leg Man to get rid of these blocks. And again, you can also get rid of them with Gutsman's weapon, as I showed in a Leg Man stage. Ah, dang. Okay, a little early. Wait for. Okay. Oop, okay. Oh my god. This jump is very difficult. There we go. Okay, thankfully with this game having better input delay, I can successfully get up tighter jumps like that. Alright, get rid of those guys. things. And I'm gonna use Gutsman here so that I can save Thunder Beam energy. Alright, and once again, you still cannot do the jump. You still cannot do the jump glitch here. Yeah, no matter though, since that guy failed to hit us there. Alright, and we're gonna use Magnet Beam once again to get across this section. Oh my god. Oh my god, get out of my way, dude! Oh my god. Yeah, these things can be really annoying. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the hit right there. Now, I've never had that happen before. Yeah, those enemies patterns can be very random. Can be very random at times. Okay, come on. Magnum Beam, please work. Oh my god, please. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, climb back down. Okay, you know what? Just do this. Okay, so unfortunately those weapon pickups do not respawn, unlike in the original NES game. There we go. So yeah, so thank God the Switch Online has the rewind feature. So I will use it if whenever necessary, especially during difficult parts like that. Anyway, here comes the Yellow Devil, a boss that Capcom loves to reuse in a lot of their later games. And he is weak to the Thunder Beam. And this is a lot easier than the original NES, as the 19 blobs that he throws at you are a lot easier to react to, as they move a lot slower this time around. So yeah. Again, he was already super easy in the original, but man, and here is even more pathetic. I take this. And I think for the shot that he fires at you is a lot slower as well. I jump. Nice. And one more hit. It's over. And did that no damage, just like in the original video. Woo! Let's freaking go. You stood no chance, Yellow Devil. It's somehow like in the original video, I didn't even use the pause trick. I didn't even use the pause glitch, and I still did that no damage. And I managed to do it again in this video. Let's freaking go. Anyways, Wily Stage 2. Alright, I'm just gonna bait those guys so that I can get them with the Thunder Beam. Okay. Fortunately, that didn't work out as I thought it would. Alright, get out of here. Alright, thanks for the extra energy. Nice. I grab this. Alright, coming up is Cutman, so... Oh shoot, okay, so we will need some more Magnet Beam energy. Alright, so coming up is Cutman, so I think his actual... Fireman is actually his secondary weakness, as yeah, it does 3 damage. So yeah, this did not happen in the original NES version. I cannot speak sometimes. And goodbye. Easy. Oh, okay, so we gotta be careful about our ammo, because it is the weakness of the copy Mega Man boss. And that guy's pattern is can be very erratic at times. Okay, we will need this. Perfect. Alright, next up is Electman, and oh my god, I feel like he might screw me over, I fear, because he moves way too fast. Of course that misses. Oh my god. Oh my god, Electman, you're such a jerk. Yeah, I may have to take an intentional death here, probably. Cause I swear, a legman is just never nice. I don't know why he's like this. I don't know why he's like that sometimes. Wait for it. Nice. All right. Yeah, take an intentional death, cause there's no way I'm winning that. There's no way I'm winning this next fight with that low health. Or does it send me back? Oh, okay, it does send me back. Okay. All right, not the best idea. Okay. Then I'll just take an intentional. I'll just let the copy Mega Man kill me, so that I can respawn with, or unless these enemies can provide me with some extra health if they can. Come on, no health? Oh god. Oh, there's one, okay. Jeez. I'll take the extra life. Oh my god. The stupid slowdown threw me off. Yeah, okay, I'm not winning this fight with low health. Alright, I'll just let him kill me. Because E-tanks were not introduced yet at this time. Yeah, I will eventually save state if I have to. Alright, just kill me. Yeah, he does a lot of damage too. Thanks for that, Elect Man. I do this. Alrighty, and I'm a save state here. On this one. And yes, I did do a practice run, obviously. In case if you hadn't heard me mention it before. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. God. Oh my god, why are you so close? Oh my god, yeah, I cannot predict this guy's pattern. Jeez. Either way, I got pretty lucky there. Ready, 10,000 clear. Oh, okay, 100 now. Okay, what is even the point? What is even the point of the score system in this game? I'm honestly glad that they removed it in the later games. The Zero series, the Zero series made better use of the score system. Anyways, Wily Stage 3. So unfortunately, I cannot do the. So of course, again, as I mentioned, they patched out the pause glitch. So we gotta go through this the old-fashioned way. Ready? And the rest of this is a straight line. Oh, yeah, another thing that I don't like about Wily Wars is how the Mega Buster pellets move very slowly, unlike on the original NES. So instead, we're just gonna jump over all of these flying enemies. Okay, make sure not to touch these guys because they will blow up in Mega Man's face. Jump, jump, jump. Alrighty. Alright, coming up to this boss right here. Again, I forget the name of this thing. I'll probably just call it the Bubble Boss. So yeah, there are a total of 7 of these things that come out, and we do need to destroy the first 3 with our regular Mega Busters, and then kill the last 4 with Gutsman's move. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. Pull out Gutsman. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. I was not expecting it to move towards me, but either way. And I always find it funny how in the original NES version, when you hit the last one, it doesn't blow up, it just freezes. Like there's no explosion animation for that. I still find that funny. Anyway, Wily Stage 4, the final stage in the game. Hit please. Okay. Cool, just missed completely. And look at these Gutsman statues. I actually forgot to bring this up in my original video, but yeah, even in the first game, Dr. Wily already had an obsession with Gutsman, despite the fact that he's Dr. Light's creation. So yeah, Dr. Wily is a pretty funny individual. He's a pretty funny but weird individual sometimes for stuff like this, like having an obsession for a robot that he didn't even create. It's pretty funny. Alright, do I have enough Magnet Beam energy? Yes, I do. Okay, so do this. I climb. Oh my god, please climb. Yes. Damn. Okay, I'm already out of Magnet Beam energy, so I do have to wait for this to come back. I like how there's an actual background this time. Unlike how in the original NES version, where it was just nothing but black. And I just get this thing right here, so that it recharges our health. Fun fact, by the way, this item actually reappears in the later games. There was a moment in Mega Man 8 to where Rush actually spawned this item. I actually didn't know it was there. And this thing will eventually make a comeback in Mega Man ZX Advent, in which I will be streaming on Twitch. Yeah, in which I will be streaming on Twitch at some point after I do the first ZX. Anyways, Boss Rush, for the very first time in the franchise, though it does function differently in this game and in Mega Man X1, and also Mega Man and Base, which I did point out in my video on that game. Oh gosh, okay. Oh no. Okay, gotta make sure not to take too much damage here. So I may have to save state if necessary. There you go. Okay, I got too close. Oh god. Okay, not going as I planned though. If Gutsman screws me over, if Gutsman gives me a bad pattern, I'm screwed. I'm literally screwed if he does that. Dang it. Okay, no. No, I need to get through this flawlessly. Okay. Alright, the only time I'm gonna use Bomb Man's weapon, and I need this to hit, please. No. Okay, thank God. I was about to say he almost did it again. Goodness. God, I really hate Gutsman so much, dude. Like both in the original and in this remake. Oh no, wrong weapon. Wrong weapon. Okay, this. Don't know how I made that mistake. Okay, can I actually get this off? I don't know if I'm gonna make it through. Yeah. There's no way I'm beating this with low health. That's fine. We can try again. Yeah, thankfully the checkpoint. Thankfully there's a checkpoint here. Yeah, let's try again. Yeah, safe setting just in case if his attacks do way more damage than necessary. And second phase. There we go. He is down. And he's doing the "please forgive me" pose. Also, why does it play the regular stage victory theme instead of the all clear theme like in the original? Were they not able to remix that? Weird. Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Dr. Wily and restored the world to peace. However, the never-ending battle continues until all destructive forces are defeated. Fight, Mega Man, for everlasting peace. Alright, so that was it for the Sega Genesis version of Mega Man 1. I will say though, this game does feel better to play. So I will say that the physics are definitely better than the original NES game. I actually forgot to bring this up, but Mega Man is no longer slippery when he comes to a stop or after he jumps, and the fact that he can climb ladders faster now, pretty much similar to Mega Man 3 and later games. But however, they kind of nerfed a few things like the magnet beam to where it just feels like it feels a little sluggish to control, to where like when you activate it, and then like there are times where it does fluctuate a little, like when you release the button, and depending on where you let go of the button with Mega Man jump height. But yeah, other than that, it's decent. But in spite of that, I think I'll still prefer to play the original NES game. I mean, there's a reason why people still play the NES version of this game than the Sega Genesis version. But yeah. Anyway, there is his dad, Dr. Light, and his sister Roll. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Alrighty. Now, was there a city in the background? I don't remember. But yes, that was it for Mega Man 1. That was it for the Sega Genesis version of Mega Man 1, and now we're going to move on to Mega Man 2. Alright, let's move on to the Sega Genesis version of Mega Man 2. Let's do it. And if I remember correctly, this is based on the original Japanese version of the NES game. So no normal / easy difficulty on this one. But already I love this remix. Hex yeah. Yeah, because you can see right here, no normal / easy mode difficulty in the Sega Genesis version. But wow, even without his helmet, his sprite still looks cool as all hell. Alrighty, but anyways, let's go on and get started here. Oh wow, okay, so I forgot to bring this up when playing Mega Man 1, but they actually removed the password system. In favor of the traditional save files. So anyways, real ones know that Flashman is to be taken on first because his stage is super easy, and even his boss fight is pretty easy as well once you learn it though. So yeah, just to take note, so this game also has some significant changes that weren't in the NES original. Pretty much all of the Robot Master, I think almost all Robot Masters take only 1 damage from the Mega Buster. I think either 1 or 2 damage from the Mega Buster. I don't remember if that's the case though, but yeah, we'll find out momentarily. There you go. And I like how the stage is I like how the graphics and visuals on the stage are a lot different than its NES counterpart. Pretty good stuff. Alright, already I'm taking a lot of damage, unfortunately. So okay, just keep on going. Yeah, so there's this upcoming enemy to where I don't know how to avoid getting hit by that. It's just way too cheap. And make our way over here. I love the Sega Genesis rendition of this theme too. Sounds so amazing. Alright, get the E-Tanks. So again, this is the first game in the series to feature E-Tanks, as I mentioned in my original Mega Man 2 video that I uploaded a year ago. Anyway, so I'm gonna make this enemy. So I'm gonna manipulate this in. I'm gonna manipulate that enemy to jumping forward, so that he's out of the way. Okay, I failed. Let's try again. Oh my god. Of course, he gets a free hit, unfortunately. Oh my god. Okay, he's already screwing me over again. Let's try again. There you go. Yeah, let's pretend that didn't happen. Here we go. So up against Flash. up against Flashy Boy here. Yeah, he is notably difficult, so may require some concentration. Shoot, okay, I didn't think he was gonna jump. Dang it, dude. He's gonna keep doing that a lot. Nope. Okay, never happened. Okay, I didn't think he kill. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, this game can be very cheap at times, so I will not regret using the rewind. Feature. Alright, there we go. Yeah, because most of these bosses hit like a truck. But there we go. We did it. Alrighty, and by beating Flashman, we get the Time Stopper. And not only that, we're getting a message from Dr. Light that he has given us access to Item 3. Item 3 completed. Get your weapons ready. I love how Mega Man looks pissed right here. When that wasn't the case in the NES original. I just found that really funny. Alrighty. So yeah, so again, that right there is the main reason why it is best to do Flashman. It is best to do Flashman, Airman, and Heatman first, so that you can have all of your items at your disposal. But yeah, with that, we're gonna be taking on Airman next. So unfortunately, they also patched. So I think this one trick that I saw speedrunners doing, which I'm also able to perform myself. You can actually stand in between those non-lethal spikes on each side of these face platforms. You can't do that in the Sega Genesis version, so you have to do this the old-fashioned way, unfortunately. Yeah, might even need to even damage boost if whenever necessary. Okay, just not right here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so this stage looks pretty much just the same as it did in the NES original. The soundtrack still kicks ass though. Yeah, Mega Man 2 soundtrack, as I stated in my original video, has one of the most iconic soundtracks in the entire series. And very recently, Mega Man and Proto Man were added to Sonic Racing Crossroads, and they decided to remix a lot of themes from this game. So yeah, so it definitely further establishes that yeah we are still gonna use Flashman here, unfortunately. But yeah, there's okay, if I don't take the death, there's definitely a reason why there's definitely a reason as this game ended up spawning this well-known franchise. So I'm very glad that's the case. Okay, I don't know how that still hit me. That was weird. Either way, I don't know how I missed that jump though. That doesn't normally happen. All good though. It's all good. Okay. Gotta make sure to destroy those eggs before those baby birds can spawn. Okay, and that guy had enough time to push me back, so we gotta deal with those baby birds, unfortunately. Let's stop that, please. Yeah, I really hate how slow the Mega Buster Mega Buster pellets are, because they were not this slow in the NES original. All right, I'm gonna save state here, just in case if it gets screwed. All right, let's try again. Did I just say? Let's try this the first time. Oh my god, I can't forgive me if I mess up with my commentary sometimes. Alright, here's ammo right here. Alright, take an intentional damage boost. Okay, those are not gonna hit, thankfully. Oh, can I actually get this? Okay, that almost worked. Okay, I got that first try. When I did my practice run at this stage, especially against Airman himself, he actually managed to give me a little. He actually managed to give me a lot of trouble. Thank God that didn't happen in this video. Alrighty. Alright, so by beating him, we get the air shooter, which is one of the best weapons in this game. Another message from Dr. Light, in which he says, "Item 2 completed. Get your weapons ready." I'll say that I probably prefer the original NES versions of these themes, but the Sega Genesis versions, definitely pretty good as well. Alrighty, we're gonna be taking on Heatman, as beating him will give us access to the item 1. Let's do it. And right here makes perfect use of the air shooter, not only against those spring-like enemies, but also these telebots. Funny thing, I was just replaying the Zero series on Twitch earlier this month, and in 0, 2, and 4 they had a variation of those telebots. They had a variation of those telebots. Only that time they would explode. Yeah. By the way, you can still make that thing despawn. By the way, even in the Genesis version. Alrighty, so we're gonna use item 3 to skip those disappearing and reappearing blocks. Okay, and then switch back to the air shooter to get rid of the rest of these telebots. Whoosh. Oh. Okay, I'll take a hit. Yes, thanks for the energy. Nope. Alright, I'll let him hit me, so just use the iframes. Alright, right here, use item 2. Okay, I'm gonna use some of these. Ah, dang, I missed. Okay, let's try again. Oh my god. Well, now you respawn? Okay. Unpredictable enemies are unpredictable. Oh, come on. Come on, game. Let me get off this trick, please. There we go. So I can do this. That's what I was trying to do. I love those new sound effects in this version. Alrighty, use a flashbang to freeze this Sniper Joe, because we're not going to deal with his ass right now. Ready? A very short stage, so we're about to come up against Heatman. And even in this version, he is still piss easy. Yeah, here you go. Alright, dodge his fireballs, and then just do this. Whoosh. And unlike the NES version, the way he begins his dash is no longer random. I think he does that. I think he does at the same. Yeah, I think he does it at the same frame every time. So yeah, no longer affected by RNG. So this is one of the better things that they fixed for this version. Because in the original NES version, Heatman would always begin his dash either at around 30, 60, or 90 frames, according to some speedrunners. So it's always random on whether he starts immediately or he delays. But that's not the case in the Sega Genesis version. So he'll always do that move at the same frame every time. So yeah. Anyways, by beating him, we get the atomic fire. And Dr. Light has just given us our last item, or debatably the first item. We get the item 1. I still like how they're not even named. They're just simply called item 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, but either way. And I'll say that item 1 will be the item item 1 is probably the best. Special item of the 3, and it's especially gonna be super useful when we get to the Wily Tower mode. All right. So next up is Crashman. Now that we have all 3 items, so, yeah, so he is one who I typically do after Heatman. All right, let's do it. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Oh my god. Yeah, I really hate the mets of this game. They always have enough time to shoot. And it doesn't help that our buster pellets are super slow as hell. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Dang it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I messed it up, but it's fine. God, even in the Genesis version, it still sounds amazing. I don't know why. Like they still cook. Like even with this new sound chip for the Genesis. Anyway, use Flashman to prevent those bird enemies from interfering with our climbing. Oh wow, I like how it lasts slightly longer too. I just realized. Very nice. Alright, grab that E-tank. Oops, item 1. Use item 1. Alrighty, and now we're at the end of the level. Just need to get rid of these spring-like enemies. I get the feeling that they were the inspiration for Spring Man from Mega Man 7. Interesting. And I also love how in the second half of the stage, to where it looks like Mega Man is going into outer space, because the start of the level has the blue sky, but then when you go to the climbing section, the background changes to I think like a space setting. So, yeah. The same thing happens in Ringman stage in Mega Man 4. Anyways, we just beat Crashman there, and by defeating him, we get the Crash Bomber, which is actually one of the more powerful weapons in the game. However, it does consume a lot of ammunition, so it's best to keep that in mind. And it is the weakness of Quickman. So I will have to save state. Oh wow, I love his new spray, by the way. Kind of looks like he's doing a dab. But yeah, I will have to save state. I will have to save state when I do that fight though, because defeating Quickman requires using all 7 crash bombs. So we gotta make sure not to mess that up. I'm gonna use Airman because there are those fire throwing enemies that we're gonna run into eventually. Alright, take a damage boost right there, and grab that E-tank. God, I love the new looks of the stage. Yeah, so those guys there, they are weak to Airman. Ready, and these lasers are still instant kills, so you gotta make sure none of them touch you. Close right there. And no need for Flashman, thank goodness. Yes, I do know that Flashman is also the weakness of Quickman, but even if you use this on him, it doesn't last very long. And it damages Quickman for like very little. So yeah. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna save state right here because I do want to get off this strategy. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. Alright, bring it on quick, man. Alright, got 2 hits in. Nice. Darn it, I missed. Okay, let's try again. Figured that would happen. Try again. Got him. Okay, he does a lot of contact damage as well. Wait, can I still get him? Dang it! Oh my god. Okay, I should have used the E-Tank. I didn't think he'd kill me. Right? I did not think he'd kill me there. I'm just trying to make sure I do not miss. Oh my god. Dang it, he interrupted me. Got him. Oh my god. Okay, I never pay attention to my health bar. Oh shoot. I hit the wrong button. Okay, E-Tank, E-Tank. Got him. Ooh. I don't know how I messed it up many times, but there we go though. Quick Man is down. And with that, we get his weapon, which is the Quick Boomerang. Alrighty. Okay, next up is Metal Man. As he is weak to the Quick Boomerang. Now, unfortunately, you cannot do the zip. You cannot do the zip glitch in the Sega Genesis version. So we still have to go through this the old-fashioned way. Alright, I don't think I want a damage boost, so yeah, so we still gotta wait for this, unfortunately. Or can you still do it? I'm gonna try. Nope. Okay, you cannot do that in this version. So it looks like they patched it out as well. God dang it, Sega and Capcom, why'd you have to do that? Yeah, I never liked going through this section because like in my recent playthroughs, I finally figured out how to do the zip. I finally figured out how to do the zip there. Like to skip both the anchors and these drill enemies. But unfortunately in this version, we still have to deal with them. It's stuff like that as to why I enjoy watching speedrun videos. I love using tricks to skip sections that I don't enjoy playing, or if there's a boss phase I don't like fighting against. They really help out a lot. And you could argue that the reason that's being done is because you could argue that it's badly designed because of that, but even then, that's literally the least of a game's problems, you know. Okay, I should be using this. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Quick Boomerang, a pretty good weapon. Yeah, because there are instances where it does more damage to the Metal Blade. There it is. Alright, use item 1 to ignore that dude. Use it again for this next guy. Nice. Alright, perfect. Now we're at the end of the stage. Ready? Yeah, use Quick Boomerang. And thankfully, you can still do this trick just like in the NES version. To where if you hold the shot button, Metal Man will not move. Unless if you get close, that is. Yep, knew it. Oh my god. Dude, hold still. Do not move. There we go. Yeah, easy. So as long as you hold down the shot button, he will not move. Just don't get too close though, because if you do, he will start moving and throwing his metal blades. But yes. And of course, we just got his ability, the metal blade, which is considered by many to be the best, to be one of the most broken weapons in the entire series, as you can aim this move in 8 directions. So it almost acts like a homing weapon of some sort. Yeah. Anyways, next up is Woodman. Bro thinks he's Donkey Kong right there. Oh yeah, the Wily Wars version of this game. I don't know why, but I think I like this way more than the original NES version. Okay, so those Bugs Bunny enemies take more hits to kill than usual. So yeah, they are weak to Crash Man, as they will go down in 1 hit. Nice. Alright, so for this part, I'm gonna charge up Heat Man's weapon. Heat Man's weapon I don't really use often, honestly. In fact, I think it's probably one of the more useless weapons in the game. So I only ever use it against those dog enemies right there. Alright, so gonna use nope. Okay, gonna use Flashman right here because there are 2 more dog mini bosses that show up, but just like in the original Mega Man 2 video, you're not gonna be seeing them in this video. Although we will see them again in the Wily Tower mode. So yeah, so I think for that instance, I may probably have to use I may probably need a Flashman for that instance. Anyway, gonna use Metal Blade against the discount Donkey Kong enemies there. Yeah, because as far as I'm aware, there's no way to get past them without them jumping you. Out of my face. Gotta get rid of those guys as well. Okay, and then the rest of this is straightforward. So we are gonna use the item 1 to ignore those Bugs Bunny enemies. I swear this sounds so good. And unfortunately you can't do the trick with the item 2 to avoid these chicken enemies, which by the way, this is the only stage where they show up in. Like literally, what's the point? You can just stand still and then they'll just never hit you. It's pretty hilarious. Alright, coming out to Woodman, and he is weak to Airman. And let's see if I can get this off. Yeah, I can never clean and jump over that without getting hit. Okay, I missed. That's fine. There we go. Nice. Are you kidding me? I didn't think he'd do that much damage. Okay, I should have save stated. Dang it, dude. I didn't think he was gonna kill me there. How are these unexpected things happening all of a sudden in this video? Okay, I'm probably not gonna have enough to kill him, so I may have to resort to using Heat Man, who he's also weak to. Ah, stupid leaves got in the way. Okay, do this. Oh, come on. Die, dude. Jeez. I didn't think he'd do that much damage. What the fudge, dude? Now he just ruined my strat. God dang it, Woodman. Alright, no matter though. We just got his weapon, which is Leaf Shield. The first shield weapon in the series. Unless if you count Firestorm from Mega Man 1, which is Fireman's weapon. Alrighty, last one is Bubble Man. Let's do it. There's a trick that I learned in the NES original to where you can use the item 2 to to skip the frogs, but it doesn't look like you can do that here. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and see if that's possible here. Can you do it in this game? Ah, dang. Okay, let me try again. Ah, too high. Too high. Oh my god. Okay, let me try again. Dang. Okay. Well, I tried. Yeah, because it looks like they might have patched that as well. That's just fine. And the cool thing about those frog enemies is that they will not fire their next set of their babies until said babies are off screen. So yeah, so there's a way you can actually manipulate those enemies there. So yeah, big props to the speedrunners for teaching me that trick. The enemy AI exploitation always works. Okay, kill these whales right here, in which I feel like were the inspiration for Duff McWhalen from Mega Man X5, as well as the whale mini bosses from Dive Man stage from Mega Man 4. Taking it nice and slow, because these spikes are still instant kill. Oh my god. There we go. Ready, and use Quick Man. Okay, make sure not to kill the little frogs. Okay, just keep one of them on screen to make sure this next big frog doesn't fire any more of his babies. Okay, good. The rest of you can get out of here. Ready, and use Flashbang on this part right here. Alrighty, and coming up into Bubble Man himself. He is weak to the Metal Blade. Let's do it. Psh, psh. Oh, that didn't hit. Oh my god. Okay, pretty bad fight. I don't know how some of those metal blades kept missing. But yes, that's all 8 Robot Masters down for the count. And by beating Bubble Man, we get the Bubble Lead, which is a weapon that's useful for grounded enemies, but can still be useful against air enemies. It can still be useful against airborne enemies and as well as airborne bosses like the alien. Yeah, more on that later. Anyway, here comes Dr. Albert Wily once again, who presumably did not learn from his defeat from the previous game. So yep, he has returned once again. And for the first time in the series, we get to see his castle. And this is his very first one, or at least this is his very first one that we see on screen. Alright, let's do this. Oh, but this is the theme that got remixed since like recent Crossroads as well. And not just that, but also in the Smash Bros games. Yeah, the most iconic track from this game. Yeah, I'm gonna use Metal Blade since it has a bigger hitbox than the Mega Buster Pellet. You're not supposed to spawn there. Okay, weird. Very weird. Never had that happen before. Okay, use Metal Blade to get rid of those things. Okay, use item 3 again. Oh. Oh my god, hurry up, hurry up. Seriously? Okay. Okay, not as bad as I thought. Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of this dude here. Come on. Yes, perfect. So we can get some of this back. Perfect. I want the Flashman here. Ah, dang. Okay, that guy's still in the way. Okay, thank God we can still hit him from down here. Thank Halia for a weapon that allows us to aim in 8 directions. Good stuff. Alright, so this part I'm gonna save state because I remember, I actually initially struggled with this part during my practice run. So can I do this? No, oh my god, I used the wrong item. Okay, reload again. I wasted that on accident without realizing. I almost made that. Okay, try again. Yeah, I don't know how I have a hard time trying to get this up. Oh my god, okay, I didn't switch. Oh my god, come on. Why is this screwing me? Oh, I keep forgetting to switch first. Jesus Christ. Keep making these same mistakes. There we go. I don't know why that's suddenly the hardest part. I don't know why. Okay, keep on climbing, since those telebots will never hit you. Alright, coming up is the Mecha Dragon boss, and he's weak to the quick boomerang. I have save stating again. Okay. Because I do not trust this guy. Also, I like how there's an actual background this time, instead of it just being a pitch black void. But anyways, there's the Mecha Dragon right there. And thankfully, his bullets are a lot slower, so it's gonna be much easier to get in a lot of shots. Okay, not sure why you decided to fire them up there. Freaking idiot. Alright, watch it. Good jump. Shoot. Okay, there we go. Much easier than the original NES version. Alright. Alrighty, Wily Stage 2. Let's do it. Let's see. Alright, we'll need more of this just in case. Alright, take out these with Metal Blade. We'll still need ammo for that. Yeah, I think these guys will always drop ammo every time. He's gonna come back. Dang, okay. That was my fault for waiting too long. Just trying to farm for energy. Yeah, take this. Yeah, so happy that the Metal Blade can kill these in one hit. Come on, drop a weapon energy, please. Come on. Okay, not a small one. Need a bigger one. There we go. Alright, perfect. So now we can move on. Whoosh. I remember the stage being green in the original, but I like how it's orange here instead. And orange is my favorite color, so I do not mind this one bit. Oh, nope, okay. Just keep climbing down. Alright, so for this part, I'm going to use Woodman, because there are more of these drill enemies that have first appeared in Metal Man stage. Yeah, I think these are affected by RNG because the tool-assisted speedrunners are able to bypass these very harmlessly. Okay, they're not supposed to spawn there. What is happening? What is this RNG? Anyway, use item 3 for this part. Okay, I'm gonna try not to use Flashman here because I'm gonna save it for a later part. So gotta take it nice and slow. Dang it! I say it's like a hit. Their hitboxes, their hitbox can be pretty unforgiving. All right, coming up to the second boss of the Wily stages. I forget the name of this thing, but thankfully it does. Yeah, so it's pretty much similar to the boss from Wily Stage 3 from the previous game, to where this whole thing is just gonna manifest into random blocks. So it does have 2 weaknesses. It is weak to the... Okay, I'm gonna save it just in case. But yeah, it is weak to the metal blade and the bubble lead. The bubble lead does the most damage to it. You can still use metal blade, but because there's no auto fire option, you won't be able to take them out. You won't be able to take them out super quickly, just like in the NES original. So my advice: just use the bubble lead. Alright. On to Wily Stage 3. Jump. Jump. Huh. Pretty tricky part right here. Huh. Okay, close. Okay, take this guy out with the metal blade. Screw you, dude. Oh wow, this one's a super short level. What? Was this rushed or something? Anyways, off against the Guts tank. Says again, Dr. Wily still has an obsession with Gus, man. I'm not sure why he does, especially since he didn't even create this robot. It was made by Dr. Light. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but either way, he is weak to Quick Man. So yes, you can still demolish him in mere seconds, even in the Sega Genesis version. Even in the Genesis version. Alrighty, up again. Alright, so on to Wily Stage 3, to where it has one of the worst bosses in the entire franchise, and that is the Boom Beam Trap. So thankfully, ever since I did my original video, ever since the original video that I uploaded a year ago in April, I've actually figured out a strat to where you can actually save up some crash bomb energy for the second phase of Wily Machine 2. So I am going to pull that off in this video. So I will show that off once we get to it. Oh my god, stupid Met. Wow, he still had time to fire after that. That's so stupid. Now where's this gonna go? Okay. So just do that right there. Alright, use item 3. Might have to use it again here. Oh god. Okay, I don't remember it being like this in the I don't remember it being like this in the NES original. Yes, there are some invisible holes around here. There's one here too, so we are going to use item 2 to bypass it. Nice. Okay, we can just climb all the way up here. How many E-tanks do we have? Only 3. I'm thinking though. I'm thinking that might be the last one, but I don't remember for sure. All right, so here comes a pretty treacherous part. So do not immediately drop down from the ladder. Just hang on. Just hang on to it during the screen transition. Wait for it, and then damage boost off that telebot so that we can skip the rest of it. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, try again. That was my fault. That was my fault. There you go. Already had that item 1. Okay, do not immediately jump down from the ladder. Okay, that works. That works. Alright, wait for this again. Item 2. Alright, Flashman. Yeah, so this is why I need to save it for that. Alright, damage boost. I don't know how to get past those guys without them hitting me. Jeez. Yeah, I may need my sub-tank for this one, I fear. Energy tank, I mean. Okay. Alright, save state. Alright, so here it is right here, so gonna pull up a strat. Okay, that helped. Come on, come on, come on. Alright, use an E-tank. I'm not dying here. Shoot. Okay, no, doesn't work like that. No. Yeah, let's try this again. Alright, so I'm not taking a hit here, but it's fine. Alright, can I get this off? So you're supposed to place it right here, so that hopefully it hits both the wall and the one of the boo beam turrets. Okay, so use the E-tank because their shots can do a lot of damage. So we cannot allow. Darn. Okay, so we gotta make sure they don't end up killing us. Dang it. Oh my god, they are wrecking me. No. Wait, did that just go right through? Wait a minute. It just faced through the wall. Okay, I'll take it. It works. It literally just clipped through the crash bomb wall. I've never seen that happen. Okay, that actually worked in my favor. I'll take it. Thanks, game. So we managed to save at least one crash bomb energy for the Wily Machine 2. Now, normally in the original NES version, you can actually save 2 crash bomb energy by abusing a glitch to where you can take to where Mega Man has to take intentional damage in order to kill one of the boo beam turrets. So yeah, helps out a lot. Helps out a lot. Dang, I don't remember who shows up in here. Is it Heatman? Let's see. Is it Heatman? Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. Chose the right one. Ready? And then do the same thing as before. Only this time that he is weak to Bubble Man. Bop. Ooh, I love the new sound effect. Anyway, he's down. And who shows up in here? Airman. And he is weak to Woodman. Can I get this off though? Okay, I'll just wait. Okay, never mind. Ah, dang. Okay, you got lucky. Nice, perfect. That actually worked. Ready? Next up is Woodman. Ready? I'm gonna make sure he does not get another chance. It ain't gonna happen twice. Psh, nice, okay, 3 hits in. Nice, perfect. That's what I was trying to do in the first encounter. So nice, he did not get another chance this time. Alright, next up is Bubble Man. Week 2, the Metal Blade. Psh. Let's go. Ready? Much better fight than the first time. Alright, next up is, I think, Quick Man? Yes, it is, okay. And one thing that I just found out is that, Heat Man can actually do decent damage to Quick Man. Nice. Dang it, he jumped. Oh my god. Nice. Okay. Use an E-Tank. He's already screwing me over. Oh my god. What else did damage to him? I forget. I think it was Airman. Oh my god, hold still. There we go. Yeah, Quickman is definitely the hardest Robot Master in this game. Especially without his weakness. Ready. Next up is Crash Man. Oh my god. Dang, okay. I'm gonna have to fight him Buster only. Wonderful. Okay, save state. Oh my god. I don't know his other weaknesses, unfortunately. Okay, I gotta save that last E-Tank for Wily. Does anything else do damage to him? Nope. Dang. Damn, I can't believe I wasted that on Quickman. Are you serious, dude? Does nothing else damage him? Please tell me. Okay, this does. Okay. Yeah, this works. Okay, it does 1 damage, but at least it fires faster. Come on, hold still. Oh. Oh my god. How many lives do I have? Does Bubbleman do any? Okay, I gotta say Bubbleman though for the alien fight. Wow, they all do 1 damage. Oh my god. I don't know how to fight this guy without getting hit. Okay, that actually worked. Okay, thank god. I was able to manipulate his AI into only running. Fortunately, next one is Middleman. And because he is weak to his own weapon, which is very hilarious. Nice. I could have picked up that health too. It's fine. Alright, last one is who? Okay, Flashman. There you go. Alright, get that health. Alright, last but not least, Wily Machine 2. Save state just in case. Oh, I like how there's a background this time. Ah! It's a little late reacting to that. Darn it! Okay, let's retry. Okay, already off to a bad start. Okay. Okay, and can I get this off? Dang, okay. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Alright, let's try again. There you go. Let's freaking go. Managed to get it off. So that right there is why I need to save that last crash bomb energy. Because if you manage to fire it at the perfect position, if you manage to fire it at the perfect precision and timing, you can one-shot the Wily 2. But if you fire it at the wrong instance, it won't instantly die. Alrighty, Wily stage 5. Final stage in the game. Let's do it. And Resident Evil foreshadowing, by the way, with these with these blood drips or whatever. No idea what they're supposed to be. Okay. Save state one last time here, because this next boss does as much damage as the last one does. So Dr. Wily is going to turn into an alien. Not sure why he has this ability, or how he can transform into an alien, but either way. So unfortunately, there's no way we can do the iframe trick on him. So gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Jump. So gotta take it nice and slow. Okay, gotta make sure not to get hit by his bullets, because they do a lot of damage. And if you collide with him, he does a lot of contact damage. Why did he shoot in the wrong direction? Wait, does he not aim directly at Mega Man this time? That's kind of weird. Since that is what he does in the original NES version. Okay, gotta make sure not to take another hit. Or waste my weapon, that is. Because he can only be damaged with Bubble Man. Nothing else will work on him. In fact, if you actually shoot him with a regular Buster Shot, he can actually regenerate his health. So yeah, best to keep that in mind. Okay, he missed, not sure why. Come on. Make sure he does not touch you with his body. Close. Okay, 2 more hits, I think. Yes. Let's freaking go. That is the end of Mega Man 2, the Genesis version. And of course, it's revealed that Wily didn't actually turn into an alien. Instead, it's just this floating device that was just flying around the entire time. So I'm guessing Dr. Wily probably invents a green screen, it seems. And once again, he's doing his please forgive me pose. And we're gonna see him do it again for the 3rd game. Which is gonna be pretty funny to look forward to. And I said this in my original video, and I'll say it again here, but I still wonder what this ending is trying to imply. It's where if Mega Man has given up fighting, or if Mega Man has given up fighting, or if he's wondering what he's trying to accomplish in life or whatever. I don't know. I mean, this doesn't really matter considering what happens in Mega Man 3 and then later games. I'm gonna assume this is why Dr. Light had created X, who is a pacifist and just dislikes having to fight or whatever, which was further established in Mega Man X7, to where he goes, "Why must Reploids fight one another? I've had enough violence." Oh wow, and there's Mega Man's helmet on the ground there at the right. Anyways, that was it for the Genesis version of Mega Man 2. Honestly, I still prefer the NES version for multiple reasons. So some of the changes here, not really too big on. I mean, I can see why they patched out the glitches, but in terms of everything else or whatever, like especially the gameplay and physics, yeah, I think the NES version was still way better at that. But what makes up for it though is the what makes up for it is the 16-bit renditions of the soundtracks. Like I think Woodman's theme in this version is better than the original. But yeah, nothing more to say. So highly recommend checking out my original Mega Man 2 video that I will put in the card at the top right of the screen. If you're watching, that is if you're watching on either desktop or on mobile. If you're watching on TV, then you won't see it, but either way, you know what I mean. Yeah, even in the 16-bit Genesis, rendition, it still sounds great. Yeah. Thank you for playing. Presented by Capcom, one of the best video game companies ever made. Hells yeah. I also like how, unlike in the original NES titles, after the game shows the presented by Capcom screen, it actually goes back to the title screen. In those versions, it's just the message just stays there until you reset the game. That's also the same case for the Mega Man X games on the SNES. But yeah, that was it for Mega Man 2. That was it for the Genesis version of Mega Man 2. So we are going to move on to Mega Man 3. Alright, so now let's finally play through the last game in this collection, and that is going to be the Genesis version of Mega Man 3. And I like how just like the original Japanese version of that game, it has Mega Man front and center on the right of the screen, and it's playing the remix version of the title screen theme, in which we also heard in Mega Man 1, the Genesis version. Alrighty, so of course we're gonna start off with Top Man, as he is the easiest, and the weapon that we get from him is one of the best ones in this game. Hot take it might be, but I don't care. Also, this looks a hell of a lot different. What? Why did they change this? So now it just looks like we're in some sort of interior base or something, rather than being outdoors. Kind of an unnecessary change, but whatever, I guess. Wow, and I like how the theme is playing much faster too. Kind of weird. Get out of here. And of course, this is the first Mega Man game in the franchise to where he can slide, and this move is especially useful for dodging enemy attacks, as well as going fast, obviously. And yeah, it's definitely the precursor to Mega Man X's dash, to which normally it requires pushing a second button to execute, but still. It's really awesome that 3 games in, Mega Man has its slide move, which will become a series staple. Alright, get that guy out of the way. Nice. Wow, how did I dodge those? What the heck? I've never done that before. That was sick. Right here. On the last stretch. Yeah, I'm not sure why they decided to change the background, and maybe even the stage design. Maybe even the whole stage design too. I'm dead. But I'm not sure why they decided to change the whole stage design and everything. Kind of weird. Alright, I want to use the rewind feature this time. Anyway, get rid of this cat enemy again. Yeah, I don't remember those platforms functioning differently in this port, which is really weird. Wow, he still missed. Freaking idiot. Wow, and I still dodged him again. How am I getting so lucky now? What's happening? I'll wait for it. Okay. There you go. Got past just fine. He's now about to face Top Man himself. Yeah, here you go. You missed. Ooh, I love the new effect for when he top spins. And jump. And then he's just gonna rinse and repeat for the remainder of the battle. Alright, jump. Psh. Oh wow, his iframes last longer than in the NES original. So yeah, so another change that I don't like for the Wily Wars. Jump. Psh. And it's over. Get out of here, Top Man. Da-da-da. Alright. Alright, and we just got our first weapon, which is going to be... I'll wait for the game to eventually tell us. Yeah, double check. Okay, had to make sure. I am recording this off of OBS, by the way. But anyways, we got the top spin, which again, one of my favorite weapons in the entire franchise that is always constantly slept on by a lot of fans. I never understood why they love to trash this weapon, call it one of the worst in the series. I feel like the reason they do is that they don't know how to I feel like the reason they believe it is that they don't know how to properly execute the weapon and use it the way that it's intended to be. In fact, this weapon gets a huge buff in the Genesis version. So we will be seeing why in this next stage, which is Shadow Man. Let's do this. Yeah, some of these I prefer. I think some of these I prefer to the original NES counterparts. Anyways, coming up is the first appearance of Mega Man's older brother, as we can tell by that whistle, and here he is. Though his sprite is much smaller than usual in this game. Not sure why that is. I'm not sure how they messed this up, but either way. Yes, he is still just as easy as he was in the NES original. So yes, Mega Man 7, he still had a much better battle in Mega Man 7. So yeah, it's weird. Anyways, we're gonna use top spin. So yeah, so again, like I said, the top spin got a massive buff in this remake to where Mega Man no longer gets pushed back when hitting enemies with that move. So yeah, it is a very significant improvement over how it was in the original game. Cause like I already love how it worked in the original NES game. It's just my only drawback is how the enemies will push back Mega Man whenever he hits them with the move. That's not the case. That's not the case for the Genesis version. So yeah, and it's especially gonna be useful in some of the Wily Tower stages. So yeah, so I look forward to that. So somehow the Wily Wars made the top spin even way better than it was in the original NES version. Crazy. Oh my god. Please hit. Yes. I mean, we can slide other than them, but I think it's just best to attack them directly. Nice. Alright, so we're gonna use it right here. So this is what I also did in the original NES version. I keep saying SNES. I don't know why. Nice. Right, pretty tricky spot though. But we managed to make it through just fine. I like and I still love the animation of him spitting. So that is something that you can still do in this remake. Anyway, here comes Shadow Man, and he is weak to the top spin, of course. Oh wow, and I think they also okay, so they also fixed the weapon. I think they also fixed the depletion glitch from the NES as well. To where like if you try to use top spin again against Shadow Man and a few other bosses that are weak to it, the weapon its ammunition will deplete very quickly. That also does not happen in the Genesis version. So yeah, they actually buffed the top spin. I'm not sure how or why they did it, but it works. Anyways, by beating Shadow Man, we get the Shadow Blade. And I think I think Shadow Blade works exactly the same as it did in the NES original. And we also have access to Rush Jet. I think that's what it said there. I forget. No, Rush Marine. We have access to Rush Marine. You don't get Rush Jet until after you beat Needle Man. Anyway, next up is Gemini Man. Yeah, so this stage is still as difficult as it was in the NES original. Alright, so those discount chill penguin, or I mean, those not chill penguin enemies take a lot of hits to kill. So I'm gonna resort to the Shadow Blade. Oh my god, I'm already getting screwed here. Oh my god, I can't even fire more than once. So dumb. Oh my god. God, can they stop respawning? Die? Okay, we're good. Dang it, I was about to fire. There you go. And unfortunately, you cannot skip this this cutscene of Proto Man destroying that machine, so that he can allow Mega Man to get past. So yeah, so they patched that out as well. So yeah, most of the tricks and glitches that you can do in the original NES version are not possible in the Genesis version. Yeah, so that's another reason why most people prefer to play the original NES versions rather than the Genesis versions. So I think at this point the Wily Wars versions of these games just feel inferior to their NES counterparts. Alright, I can just do this. Alright, get those blue things out of the way. Ah, okay, no, it doesn't work like that. Alright, so we will have to use the Rush Coil. By the way, this game is Rush's first appearance, by the way. And he will also remain a staple in the series, just like the slide. Anyway, damage boost. Okay, make sure those guys don't hit me though. Can I do it again? Nice. So, yeah, damage boost always works. And I actually figured out how to get past here without needing the Rush Marine. So I'm gonna do it right here. Alright, nice. So then switch to the Shadow Blade. Nice. I didn't even need Rush Marine for that. So sick. Alrighty. We're about to come up to Gemini Man right now. Nice. I'm with that dude. So we don't have his weakness yet, which is Search Snake. But the Shadow Blade can do a decent amount of damage to him. Okay, why does he immediately turn around? Okay, use my E-Tank. He's already screwing me over. No, 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 no. Okay, come on. I really hate this game's. I really hate this game's weapon select menu. It's so stupid. It's so difficult to navigate. There we go. All right, not a bad fight. Not a bad fight though. I accidentally selected top spin when I was trying to use the E-Tank. But either way, easiest pie boss right there. Alright, and what is this weapon? Even though we already know what it is, but I'll just wait for the game to say it. We get the Gemini laser, which unfortunately got nerfed. I forgot to be my TV. Which unfortunately got nerfed in this game, as the weapon fires very slowly. So we're about to see why in this next stage, which is Needleman. Let's do it. Alright, here we go. So I like how the visuals are the same. Okay, here it is. Yeah, fires a lot slower than usual. So yeah, they nerfed the hell out of this weapon. Why did they do that? Makes no sense. Yeah, so I think for that reason, it's probably not going to be as useful as it once used to be in the NES original. Nice. Psh. Psh. Nope. Psh. Ow. Not today, son. Nice. Okay, this. Okay, yeah, the Genesis version of this theme. Okay, it's not that great. In fact, I think it's probably one of the more weakest ones in this entire game. I jump over that hedgehog-like enemy or whatever that thing's supposed to be. I'd slide. I dodge and yeah, just strike him. Why did I think that was gonna work? I dodge that dude by sliding under him. Ready? Coming up is Needleman. He's weak to Gemini. He's weak to Gemini Man, obviously. Oh god. Okay, thank god. Ooh, close. Okay, so they managed to. Okay, so they changed one thing here, to where in the NES version, Needleman will actually stand completely still until you fire the Gemini laser at him. In the Genesis version, he attacks immediately. So yeah, best to keep that in mind though. Anyways, with that, we get the Needle Cannon and the Rush Jet. The Needle Cannon I don't really use that much outside of weakness fodder, as it is the weakness of Snake Man, who we're gonna be fighting against next. Let's do it. And now that I think about it, Snake Man is actually the name of one of Luffy's moves from One Piece, I think. To where he enlarges his arm or something, or is it some other move? Either way, though. Because One Piece wasn't even a thing yet by the time this game's release. Or by the time of original Mega Man 3's release, but yeah. But anyways, I love the looks of the stage here. It looks so amazing. And thankfully the theme sounds just as good as it was in the NES original. Nice. Anyways, we're gonna use Rush Jet right here to skip the Snake mini boss. And yes, you can still skip the mini bosses in this version. So yep, just like that. We could just ignore him completely. Oh, that's hilarious. Ouch. I'm gonna grab this. Alright, so we're gonna use top spin against these next set of enemies. Nice. Come at me. Whoosh. I use Rush Jet again. Yeah, I don't know why Rush is. Oh my god, my freaking throat. I don't know why Rush Jet is in a different. I don't know why Rush Jet is. I don't know why Rush Jet is. I don't know why Rush Jet is. I cannot speak. What is wrong with me? I don't know why Rush is in a blue color palette. So I feel like that might be the limitations that they messed up or whatever. But yeah, doesn't really hurt the pace or anything. I just find that to be really weird. I get up there. And skip this. Skip another snake mini boss again. And goodbye. So yeah, doing that saves a lot of time. I wonder if you can still. I wonder if you can still the frame perfect slide trick to phase through the wall. To phase through the wall of that boss there. Yeah. Either way, it helps save a lot. It helps save a few seconds there. Nice. Alright, yeah, use Rush Jet again here. Alrighty. Coming up to Snake Man. God, I'm already starting to get really tired. Can't stop now, though. Gotta finish recording this. Oh, here we go. He is right here, and he's weak to Snake Man. He's weak to Needle Man. Oh my god. Mess up with my commentary again. Ow. And he's down. And I like how the needle cannon functions similarly to the quick boomerang from the previous game, to where if you hold the shot button, Mega Man will fire continuously. So, does help out a lot. Alrighty, and by defeating Snake Man, we get the Surge Snake. And similar to Bubble Lead from the last game, it works the best against grounded enemies. So that's gonna be put to good use for Magnet Man stage, in which we're gonna be doing right now as our next one. Alrighty, here's Proto Man again for the third time, and he's gonna be fighting us again, even though he just helped us back in Gemini Man stage, but okay then. Makes no sense, but whatever. Yeah, he's just gonna keep jumping and shooting like an idiot, not even trying to fight us or anything. So like, what's the point? Is he dumb or what? Is he dumb or something or what? Nice. Yeah, I really hate how slow the Gemini laser is in this version. Anyways, first use of Snake Man right there. So again, works the best against grounded enemies like those. Nice. Alright, use Rush Jet for this next upcoming part. Get the soft here. Nice, first try. Very nice. Shadow Blade. So that we can kill this next enemy. And then use Gemini Man for this guy again. Okay, well, it would have gone successful if Gemini Laser could fire faster. I really hate how they nerf some of these weapons. Alright, next up is Magnet Man. And he's weak to the Shadow Blade. Wow. Okay, I'm surprised that still hit. Okay, dude, stop. Wow, and he still goes down in 4 hits. That is hilarious. Alright. Ready, 2 more left. 2 more left until we gotta do the most infamous part of this entire game, and that is going to be the Doc Robot that is going to be the Doc Robot Masters. Nobody looks forward to fighting those enemies, including myself, and we still have to go through them in this version of the game. Alrighty, so by defeating Magnet Man, we get the Magnet Missile, which also got nerfed after hell in this game. Like, what the heck? But we'll be saying why momentarily. Alright, so next up is Hard Man. And there's another significant change that they made to this version, to where the Shadow Blade no longer kills the B enemies. So if you try to, okay, we weren't able to reach that, but okay, thankfully you can still make them despawn. Yeah, you try to strike them. Yeah, it just bounces right off of them. Dang, so now I gotta deal with these annoying bees. Okay, they're gone. Yeah, so that is the main reason why I prevented them from spawning in my original video that I did almost a year ago. But yeah, it definitely helps out a lot. But it's not in this version though, unfortunately. Like some of these glitches, I see why they had to patch out, but others like nerfing a couple of weapons just make little to no sense whatsoever. Like most weapons are, wow, that missed. Most weapons are the same as they were, but others like the top spin have gotten a significant buff, but like others such as the Gemini Laser and Magnet Missile have gotten nerfed half to hell. It makes no sense. Alright, take this. Take this. And of course, just like in the original Mega Man 3, you can only fire 1 Gemini Laser at a time. And the thing I hate the most about this weapon is that if it misses, you have to watch the thing bounce all around, which will prevent you from accessing the weapon menu. So I always hated that about the original NES version, and I still hate it here. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know how to avoid that one. Anyways, coming up is yet another counter with Proto Man. Yeah, so the only difference here is that this room has steep some extra elevation or whatever, so it's already getting much harder to avoid him. Okay, nice. There we go. My god, how many hits do you take? Okay, thank god. Very nice. We're about to come out to Hard Man, as we use weak to Magnet Man. And you're gonna see why the Magnet Missile got nerfed as well. Yeah, he might kill me, I fear. Okay, I'm gonna save it just in case. Okay, never mind. We're safe. But yes, you saw the problem right there, to where when I fire the Magnet Missile, not only is there a slight delay before they target the enemies or other objects, like Hardman's Hard Knuckles, but they also what was it? I already forgot. Like, not only is there a delay, but yeah, not only is there a delay before the target objects, but not only is there a delay before they target enemies, but for some reason it also targets projectiles such as Harpman's hard knuckles. I'm not sure why they felt the need to do that, man. Considering it was actually one of the best, weapons in the original NES version. So I don't understand why they chose to nerf it. It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. All right, last but not least, Sparkman. Let's go on and do this thing. I'll never not love that. Alrighty, here we go. And thankfully, just like in the original, the Sega Genesis version is still a kick-ass. Let's go on and do this right here. Oops. Okay, I gotta wait for this a little. Time my jump. Nice. Alright, so we're gonna kill these group of flying enemies with Shadow Man. Nice. Oh shoot. I didn't react to time. Alright, all good. Nice. Alright, one cycle. Can I just do this? Let's see. Actually, no. I'm just gonna do what I did in that. I'm just gonna do what I did in the original video. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that works. Time your jumps right there. Alright, kill this Met with the Gemini laser. I still hate how it moves super slow. Why did they nerf it? I don't understand. Okay. I love the fact that you can one-shot those things with topspin. Again, this move has been incredibly buffed in the Genesis version. Yep, keep on sliding and those blocks will never hit you. Mega Man is too fast for them. Ah, dang, I tried to do it. Okay, I think I probably should have save stated. Yeah, I already know I wouldn't get it off in this video. I already knew I wouldn't get it off first try in this video, but still. There we go. Nice. I didn't even need rushed at that time. Damn. I love the immediate I love the non-existent input delay in this version. Anyways, here is Sparky. Ow. Okay, I tried to jump over those, but they still hit me somehow. Ooh, close. Psh. There we go. He down. And it's kind of weird how the boss theme doesn't end after defeating the Robot Master. I just find that to be really weird. And we just got his weapon. I don't know what's up with these awkward pauses every time he beats the Robot Master and inherits the weapon. It's so weird. Anyways, we got the Spark Shot, which unfortunately in the Genesis version it is still useless, and I'm never gonna be using it. Well, it's still useless. I'm never gonna be using it until we fight against Doc Airman. Okay, save. And now, yep, here they are. Everybody's favorite part about Mega Man 3. So you still have to go through this, even in the Wily Wars version. Okay, so yeah. So normally I always do Doc Gemini Man first. And again, there's still no in-universe reasonings for why Mega Man has to fight these Doc Robot enemies or whatever. So yeah, either way. And because I'm playing the Wily Wars version, and that it omits the password system, these cannot be skipped. So you cannot go. So yeah, these cannot be skipped. So it is what it is. Okay. Anyway, so we are gonna make use of Magnet Man's weapon. So again, I don't understand, and again, I don't understand why they nerfed the hell out of this weapon to where it not only targets random projectiles, but there's also a slight delay before it turns towards the enemy's direction. Yeah, like that. Like, yeah, why is that even there? That's so weird. Really freaking weird. And then when it happens, most of the time it will miss completely. So yeah, I really hate that so much. I grab that. Okay, I'm all out. But yeah, it does still take up a lot of ammunition, just like in the original. Anyway, jump down here. Okay, smash all these things. Okay, perfect. There's no room here. Shoot. Will this work? Yeah, I need him to spawn. Come on. Oh, come on. Okay, spawn right here, please. That's not gonna work. Okay, I don't want to get hit by those blue things though. Okay, why does that take so long? Alright, come on, Rush, spawn right here, please. Come on, dude. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Go away. Ouch. Alright, coming up into Doc Flashman, and he is weak to Needle Man, which was actually a mistake that I made in the original Mega Man 3 video. There you go. And the thing you gotta take note of, the thing you gotta take note about these Mega Man 2 Robot Masters is that they can do severe contact damage, as they will damage Mega Man for 8. They will do 8 damage to Mega Man if he touch him with his body. I need to stop saying what is it a lot. Even though I know it's gonna be happening more often. Nice. Okay, nope, stay dead, stay dead. Oh my god, okay, he's gonna keep respawning. Oh my god. Yeah, and I really hate how I can't access the weapon select menu while the current weapon is active. So that still persists in the Genesis version. And I find it to be really stupid. And I love how Rush disappeared for 1 frame every time. Every time we grab the the weapon energy. Oh, of course that misses. Oh my god. Yeah, these things come really fast. You hardly have enough time to react to them. Okay, nice. Alrighty. Coming up to Doc Bubble Man, and he is weak to Shadow Man, which makes sense since it is essentially a downgraded version of the Metal Blade. Since you can only aim it at 6 directions. 6 directions. Wait, I forget. Yeah, you can only aim it at 6 directions as opposed to the 5 directions? No, yeah, 5 directions as opposed to 8. Okay, I just remembered. I didn't have time to test it thoroughly. Alrighty, that's it for that's it for Bubble Man right there. Alrighty. Now there's 6 more that we do have to take care of in these next 3 stages. Alrighty, save our data. Alrighty, next up is Shadow Man. Alright, so this glitch right here to where if Mega Man touches the spike on the same frame as he falls down, it would cut off the music, and it would actually eliminate the lag. You cannot do that in the Genesis version. But even then, though, there is no lag. There is no lag whatsoever that has happened yet. So there is no need. So there will be no need to do that. Ready? Use top spin to get rid of these guys. Ready? And we're gonna skip, and we're gonna use the rush jet to go through this entire part. So we don't even need to use those. At least we get to hear the music this time, though. It's a shame that I had to abuse that glitch in the original video to eliminate the lag. Although, however, because I played the Legacy Collection version, a few people have mentioned that if you turn on turbo, it actually eliminates the slowdown altogether. So, if only I had known about that during the time I made those first few videos. Anyways, up against Woodman right here, and he is also weak to Needleman. Now, there's no visual cue on when he throws his leaf shield. So all that matters is literally luck. Oh god. Okay, close. He almost killed me there. That was very close for comfort there. Alrighty, use Gemini Man against these Sniper Joes here. Dang it. Just timing it. Darn it. I really hate how slow this weapon is. Nice. Oh, come on. What the hell, dude? What was that? Alright, use top spin right here. Instead of the magnet missile. Okay, gonna play it safe. Alright, perfect. Ready, and then get rid of this with the magnet missile if you can. Perfect. You're too slow. Ready, and next up is Heatman, as he is weak to topspin. I'm twirling like a ballerina. What is that spread of Heatman right there? What was with that spread of Heatman there? That was really weird. There we go. Yeah, the only thing that sucks about the top spin is that for the bosses that are weak to it, there's no way to damage them with this move without getting hit yourself. But other than that, it is still a busted weapon, especially in the Genesis version. Alright, next up is Stock Needleman, and where we're gonna be fighting off, in which we're gonna be refighting Airman and Crashman. And this is the only one of these Stock Robot stages to where it actually changes the setting, because when we first played through this stage, it was daytime. Now it is nighttime. Yeah, good stuff right there. I'm gonna play it safe here. Ow! Oh my god! Okay, that was my fault. Alright, perfect. Alright, I will definitely pick up some more E-tanks whenever there's one lying by. Thankfully, unlike Mega Man 2, this game is very generous. This game is very generous with the E-tanks. So there's gonna be, I will definitely be grabbing a lot. I will definitely be grabbing a lot of them. Alrighty. So use a rush jet to get up here. I haven't even mentioned this yet, but and yes, even in the Genesis version, you can still move rush in any direction. So yeah, it really helps out a lot. It really sucks how in Mega Man 4, it really sucks how in Mega Man 4 and onwards, rush can only move straight forward while moving up and down. So yeah, so by that point, he's literally automated. Alright, can I kill this dude? Nope. Okay, whatever. We can just jump over him instead. Alright, nice. Alright, so we're about to fight up against Airman, and he is weak to Sparkman. And the only time I'm ever going to use Sparkman in this game, just like in the original video. Alright, let's do it. And thankfully, because Mega Man has the ability to slide this time, if Airman fires his air shooters, if Airman fires his air shooters at a slightly higher interval, Mega Man can slide under them. Yep, just like that. Okay, use the E-Tank. It's a good thing that I went for it, because these powerful versions of the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters can do a lot of damage. Anyway, that was it for Airman there. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these guys with Magnet Missile. Whoosh. Oh my god. Okay, I was about to say. Please do not respawn. Alrighty, and you do need to use Rush Jet to get past this section. And I'm just gonna do what I did in the original video. Just manipulate those Dragonfly enemies. You can literally just manipulate their AI into acting completely stupid. Oh, and now, I like how this time they fly straight up instead of straight down. Because when Mega Man jumps to the top of the screen, it causes their AI to believe that he's at the bottom of the screen, as opposed to the top. So yeah. Once again, the AI exploitation trick always works. Oh my god. Okay, I'll use Shadow Man as backup here. Yeah, because you cannot kill this this big Met as cleanly as you could in the original. Psh, nice. Psh, very nice. Psh, psh, psh. Ow. And can I try it again? Alright, use it again here. There we go. Yeah, so apparently, its hitbox is a lot farther than usual. Very nice. Alright, so coming up into Doc Crashman, so he's primarily weak to the hard knuckle, but it does have a catch though, because yeah, there's a very slight long delay before the weapon fires. And how Crashman's AI works is that he will react to your attacks, especially the hard knuckle. And because the hard knuckle takes a lot, because the hard knuckle has a long spawn time, it will miss Crashman completely. So instead, we're gonna use the top spin, as that is his secondary weakness. So it makes sense since again, the top spin is even more OP in this version than it was in the NES original. Psh. There you go. Psh. And get out of here. He damn. Alright, Mega Man. It's time to go, dude. Why are you still standing there? What is with these awkward pauses? So weird. And then again, the original game was already rushed, but it kind of feels like the Genesis version was even more rushed with how Proto Man is smaller than Mega Man and how Rush is blue when going to the weapon selection menu. Yeah, like this. I don't know how this got left in or something. So yeah, this game was a whoa! I just did an unintentional zip right there. Yeah, the Genesis version of Mega Man 3 probably even more rushed than the original NES version. That is beyond crazy on so many levels. I get out of here. Nice. Oh god. Gemini laser, please work with me. Nice. Alright, coming up is Coming up is Metal Man, and he is weak to Magnet Man. And this actually makes sense since magnets can attract to metal. Anyway, let's do it. Alright, the only issue though is that, yeah, for some reason the magnet missile will aim for the metal blades instead of Metal Man himself. It's so annoying. Yeah, so the only way to get this off is if you're closer to him. Oh my god. Hard to do that without him hitting. It's hard to do that with him hitting you though. Alright, nice. He is down. Ready? And one more Robot Master to go, and that's gonna be quick, man. And that man gives me a lot of trouble, even more so than in Mega Man 2. Alright, so we're gonna keep this so that we can kill this blue thing. Nice. Oh yeah, you can still make those things despawn, by the way. It is hilarious. Come on. Yeah. So even on the Genesis version, they can still despawn. That is so funny. Did they do that? Did they do that on purpose? I begin to think that they probably did. Okay, last ammo. That is so funny. Literally so funny. Ready? Get Shadow Blade. Alright, damage boost. Not gonna deal with any more of those enemies. Alright, jump. Alright, here we go. So I will have to use Snake Man because Gemini Laser is too slow. Let's do it. Alright, let's do this. And it doesn't help that he does 8 damage. He does 8 contact damage. It's so stupid. Yep, there it is right there. Oh my god. Okay. Throw your quick boomerangs, please. No, oh my god. How'd you miss, dude? How'd you miss? Okay, it doesn't matter. He's been taken down. I was trying to intentionally get hit by his quick boomerangs, but they missed completely, and he instead walks into me and does 8 damage. Jeez. The contact damage in most Mega Man games, especially in others like Mega Man X3, if you play that game as Unarmored X, oh my god, that's just way too freaking much. Way too freaking much. Anyways, that's it for all of the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters. Thank God. I don't even know why all of them return in the form of Doc Robots, but thankfully we're never seeing them again after this game. Alright. Anyways, one more fight against Proto Man, who's referred to as Break Man in that menu there for some reason. I'm not sure why. Anyway, and wow, just literally the same thing. Literally the same thing that he did like 3 times. Like, what the heck, dude? What is your deal? And why is he wearing a mask this time? Low-key really weird. Oh my god, I don't know how to avoid him due to this elevation here. There we go. And again, I don't know how they messed up with his sprite, where he's somehow smaller than Mega Man. And it kind of feels like it kind of seems like a what is it? A slightly different version of his sprite from the original. Oh no! Right after we received the last element, Wily ran off with Gamma. Oh wow, they actually so they actually fixed the typo from the original to where they put an E in Wily's name. They managed to fix that for the Genesis version. Anyways, the big bad Dr. Albert Wily is the big bad Dr. Albert Wily is back again. And as before the events of this game, he and Dr. Light worked together to create this new giant robot named Gamma. That's pretty much as far as I remember, because they never tell you any of that in game for some reason. So you pretty much just have to like look up some manuals or guides or whatever. Anyways, I love this theme, so we're on to Wily Stage 1. God, I will never not love this theme. It's so freaking goated. Literally so goated. Alright, so coming up are these penguin enemies that move incredibly fast. So we're gonna see if this works here. So I will use it. Nice. Dang, okay, it almost worked. Yeah, those guys move incredibly fast. That did not happen in the original. That did not happen in the original NES version. So yeah, and that's why I didn't use Magnum Man there, because those Magnum missiles will miss. Those Magnum missiles will whiff completely. So yeah, it's not viable. Will this hit? Okay. Yeah, it only targets the Sniper Joe if their eyes are open. Okay, so I learned a new strat there. Alright, use Rush Jet. Oh yeah, interestingly, okay, so this is an interesting trick that I've seen speedrunners do. Hello, Rush? Okay, so for some reason, Rush does not spawn on top of the spikes for some reason. Instead, he just spawns right next to it. No. Rush, you can't be doing that, dude. You can't be doing that. I'm gonna wait for it. Okay. Rush almost got me killed there. I'm not sure what's up with his behavior here. It's just really odd. Okay, we will be needing more Rush Jet energy. So yeah, again, just like in the original NES versions, in all three of these games in the Wily Wars, when going through the Wily stages, your weapons, Mega Man does not save his weapon energy, or at the very least, Mega Man does not replenish all of his weapons when he enters the next stage. So, yeah, so that is still a thing in the Wily Wars version. Anyway, coming up to the turtle boss, which is still weak to Top Spin and Shadow Blade. The Top Spin is the best to use against this thing, because the turtles will eventually move very fast the more you hit them. And yep, there you go. Yeah, I think Top Spin is best to use against this thing as opposed to the Shadow Blade. I know skilled players and speedrunners can hit them perfectly without missing, but in my case, I just prefer to use Top Spin. Wow, does that loop every time? I know in the NES version you only hear it for a few seconds, but this one you hear it for much longer, but it just loops. Really weird. Alright, so it should be noted that this stage does not have checkpoints. So if you die at any point, you have to start from the very beginning. So best to keep that in mind. Alright, so unfortunately, we still have to deal with the B enemies since the Shadow Blade no longer kills them. But we can do a new strat here instead, to where we can just take an intentional damage boost. Okay, thank God they no longer lag the screen. Yeah, okay, so when Mega Man gets hit while on the Rush Jet, he actually gains a slight boost, which is kind of weird. That's a trick that I've seen the tool-assisted speedrunners do. Yeah, it actually helps out a lot. Alright, so coming up into Yellow Devil once again. This version is the Mark II. Now, so during my practice runs, I was unfortunately unable to get off the Shadow Blade trick to where you can damage him every frame. That is not possible in the Wily Wars version, so we gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Yeah, it's not as easy to do. Alright, so instead, we're gonna have to use Hard Man for this one. So, god dang it. So it's another reason why I prefer to play the NES version, the NES versions of these games instead of these versions. I only ever played this for the Wily Tower mode. Oh my god. Okay, that move you did not see in the original video. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, one more cycle. That's fine. Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot get out this trick easily. Oh god, okay. I should not have jumped there. Get out of here. So yeah, so unfortunately in this version you cannot pull out that trick. It does require damage boosting, and then getting into the right positioning so that you can either mash you can either just mash the hell out of the shot button, or if you're playing on the Legacy Collection with the auto fire, you can just throw the Shadow Blade into his eye, literally every frame until he dies, like literally an instant kill. But you cannot do that in this version. Anyways, on to Wily Stage 3. And thankfully, this one's a lot easier than the first two. Alright, so we're gonna use Rush Coil to get up here. And hopefully not get hit by this guy. Nice. Oh, shoot. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna use Search Snake to get rid of those walking bomb enemies. Hello? Okay, I can slide under that. Alright, so we're gonna have to kill these jumping enemies with Hard Man. Yeah, you can literally kill them in one shot. Yep, just like that. Yeah, yeah, they move incredibly fast. They move incredibly fast that not even Mega Man Slide, not even sliding will be enough to avoid them. Yeah, so it's just best to do that right there. Oh god. Okay, close. Alright, so coming up is the 3 Mega Man clone boss. I forget the name of it. Now, so unlike on the NES version, this time it's completely random on where the actual copy Mega Man is, because I didn't describe it in my first video, but the first copy Mega Man will always spawn at the top of the screen. This time in the Wily Wars version, this is affected by RNG. So which one are we gonna get? Okay, it's the bottom one. The bottom one. Come on. Dang it. Okay, you got away. Alright, which one? Not that one. Okay, we got him. We got him. So yeah, so that right there is affected by RNG. It's always gonna be random on which it's always gonna be random on which the actual fake Mega Man will spawn. But yeah. Anyways, so that was it. Now we're about to move in to Wily Stage 4, which again, in your typical Mega Man fashion, we have to refight all the previous bosses before we get to fight against the final boss. And do I have enough weapon energy? I might need a few. Okay, so I might need more Snake Band energy. Just I did have to use up all of it for the previous fight. Alrighty. Alright, we're gonna use top spin to get rid of those garbage enemies, as that is what they're weak to. Get out of here. Wow, you didn't even get to see him there. Killed him super fast too. Yeah, get more Hard Man energy. Ready, and back to top spin for more garbage enemies. Get out of here. Get out of here. Bop. I love the top spin so much. I love the top spin so much in the Wily Wars version. And no longer pushes back Mega Man when he hits enemies with that move. Alright, so here's the boss rush, and first off is Gemini Man. Or wait, no, Needle Man. Needle Man is the first off. Okay, just gotta wait for the right opening. Darn. Close. Okay, now next up is Gemini Man. He is weak to Snake Man. Oh, okay, this is Magnet Man. Okay, I already forget. What is it? I always forget which of these have the. I always forget which ones the correct ones show up in. But anyways, this is Magnet Man. He is weak to Shadow Blade. Okay, watch out those home in. There we go. He did. Goes down in 4 hits still. Alright, who shows up in here? I don't remember. Gemini Man? Yes, okay. So this is Gemini Man. Alright, and he's weak to Stink Man. Alright, this time I jump it, that's fine. Come on. Yes. Thank goodness. Alright, so I know Hard Man shows up in here, so he's weak to Magnet Missile, but it's gonna be very tricky to pull off, so just in case, I'm gonna save state here. Okay. Oh, come on. Please hit. Just ignore his hard knuckles and aim for the guy, please. Stupid Magnet Missile. God. I hate that they nerfed this weapon. Now that's getting me hit more times than I'd like. Wonderful move, Capcom. Alrighty, next up is Top Man, and as he is weak to the hard knuckle. Alright, okay, dang. Still got hit, unfortunately. Yeah, I really hate the delay of this move. Alright, he is down. Alrighty, next up is Shadow Man. Alright, we will have to take some damage here, unfortunately. Just to get rid of his ash. There we go. Alright, he down. Alright, and who shows up in here? Spark Man. Weak to Shadow Blade. There you go. Wasn't able to avoid that. Nice. Alright, he did. Alrighty, last but not least, Snake Man. Weak to Needle Man. Let's do it. Shoot. Yeah, it's a lot. This is a lot similar to Flashman's fight, to where he just runs around the arena. But yeah. I think I gotten it down at this point, so I can definitely do this Buster only. Alrighty, he down. Alright, I don't need that. I don't need that health pickup, as he is the last one. Alright, check my weapon energy. Yeah, it should be good. So I just need just need some top spin energy. As I will have to use this move against Gamma, who is the final boss. Just do it. Alright, come on, game. Ain't got all day. We got one more mode after this. Alright, so we will need... take this, and then... And also Shadow Blade energy as well. Alrighty. Alrighty, we should be good to go, hopefully. Alright, slide our way down here. And again, I like how there's a background in this. I like how there's a background here this time, unlike on the NES original, where it was nothing but a black void. I do this. Nice. Alright, Wily revealing his true colors. So we're gonna activate Rush Jet, and we're just gonna hit Wily in the face every frame. So yes, they still did not give these last few bosses iframes, which is very hilarious. So yeah, I will have to jump. To prevent the Rush Jet ammunition from depleting. Oop. Okay, go up a little. Alright, come on. There we go. Very nice. God, I love how broken the Rush Jet in this. I really love how broken the Rush Jet is in this game. You can literally just move, to where he can literally move in any direction. And of course, that's a fake. Why am I not surprised? Goodness. And of course, the reason this happens is because we have one more fight after this, and then we will be done. Oh my god, why does this take so long? It's so much slower than the than the NES version. I don't know why that is. Anyway, get Shadow Blade. Do I have enough top spin energy? Yeah, okay. I will be using this just in case. Okay, or I will be getting that just in case, I mean. Alright, here we go. Final boss. Oh wow, we already see him immediately. Okay. Anyway, do this. Nice. Anyways, get Rush Coil. Oh my god. Alright, will this work? Dang it, missed! Oh my god. Wow, and he fires super fast too. Alright, come on. Alright, I want to stand closer. Alright, please hit. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, dodge the shot. Dang it! Dang it, dude. Don't interrupt me, please. Okay. There we go. Oh my god. That is really annoying. Anyways, that's the end of Dr. Wily for the third frickin' time. Nice. And they both get crushed. Where's Dr. Wily? Oh no. Too late. And how did Dr. Wily not die from this? It doesn't make any sense. Epilogue. Mega Man, you've regained consciousness. I found you lying here when I arrived. I wonder who brought you here. There's that whistle. This whistle. It must have been Proto Man. It really took until the end of the game. Ooh, number list of robots made by Dr. Light. Okay, so in the original game, they referred to him by his original Japanese name, which is Dr. Light. So smart move right there, Capcom. But yeah, I don't know why it took until the very end of the game to finally mention the name of this mysterious character. But yes, we will be seeing and just in case if you didn't see my past Mega Man videos, Proto Man will become one of the main series characters moving forward. But yes. I don't think I heard the Genesis version of this game in quite some time. But yeah. Is that literally the same? And yep, there's Dr. Wily up there. I'm not sure how he survived. I'm not sure how he survived getting crushed by that block there. But either way. And Proto Man is just basically the Piccolo of the Mega Man. Proto Man is basically the Piccolo of the Mega Man series, to where he always just loves to aura farm every single time. Goodness, it's always so cool to see. Anyways, that was it for the Genesis version of Mega Man 3. I'll be honest though, this port is a bit of a mixed bag. While there are some improvements that I do like, such as the top spin, while there are some improvements that I like, such as the top spin, everything else though, I'm not a big fan of. Like, I hate the fact that they nerfed the Gemini laser, the magnet missile, and the hard knuckle especially. But other than that though, yeah, I think I still prefer to play the original NES version. Oh yeah, not just that, but also the glitches and techniques that you would normally perform in the NES game are not present in this version. So that's why I cannot cleanly pull off the quick kill on the Yellow Devil in this game. So yeah. So for that reason, I think I'm probably gonna be sticking to the NES versions of these games for quite a long while. The only reason I'm coming back to this is for this video as well as this retrospective. But yeah, because and again, the last time I played through the Genesis versions of these games fully was back in 2022, 4 years ago. But yeah. But anyways, we got access to the Wily Tower. Let's go on and do this finally. Alrighty, what's Big Bad Wily up to?
You metallic moron! I'm not finished with you yet. I still have a few 100 tricks up my sleeve. These three robots were especially designed to smash you like a tin can. Try not to go to pieces, Mega Man. Ha 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 ha.
Alright, so we got new Robot Masters at the bottom of the screen there. And these guys' names are Buster Rod Point G, Mega Water.S, and Hyperstorm.H. And yes, and this is pretty much and whenever I visit this game, this is literally the only thing I come back to it for, because this is by far one of the best modes in the entire Mega Man franchise. So yeah, so I look forward to finally covering it after how many hours in, I don't know. I'm recording multiple sessions of this game, so I don't really know. I won't know how long this is until I edit it. But yeah, so anyways, we're gonna be taking on Buster Rod.G first. Alright, let's go. Alright, so he is weak to the hard knuckle, I believe, so I will need that. And yes, and the best, and another another thing that makes this mode great is that we get to use all the weapons from all 3 games in this mode. That's freaking go. So I like to think that this is the inspiration for the X Challenge mode from the Mega Man X Legacy collection. That's so sick. So we can use all 6 weapons from Mega Man 1, we can use all 8 weapons from Mega Man 2, or we can use all 8 weapons from Mega Man 3. And the best part is that we get to use them all at once, or not all of them, but we can use at least 8. We can use 8 weapons from each game. It's really sick. I kind of wish we got more like this in the franchise, and the second game to do this was the X Challenge mode, but I do wish we got to see more of this in in other games. And I'm really hoping that Mega Man Dual Ride, which will release next year, will have something like this. So anyways, I'm gonna equip the Thunder Beam, which is still the best weapon from Mega Man 1. Let's see. Okay, I guess I'll get Fireman as well, and maybe Cutman as well. Yeah, so let's get that. Alright, so moving on to Mega Man 2's weapons. Get the Metal Blade, the best weapon. We're also gonna get... Will I need... Okay, I guess I'll get Crash Man, probably. Actually, no. Use Airman. That's another good weapon. And... yeah, I guess I'll get Woodman as well. Alrighty, and for Mega Man 3, get Top Spin, best weapon, and the best weapon from that game. And what else? What else will I need? Alright, we don't need Shadow Blade. I guess Magnum Man. Why not? And we can even use the items from each game as well. We get the Magnet Beam, we get items 1 to 3, and all the rush items. So yeah, literally the best thing about this entire game. Alright, so pretty much for the rest of this, I will be using the Magnet Beam. I will be using item 1, and of course the rush jets. Yeah, don't even bother with anything else. These 3 items are gonna be your best friends for the majority of the Wily Tower mode. Alrighty, so with that said, let's go on and get started here. Here we go. So in addition, we also get original stages too. Oh wow, and it even has the Mega Man 4 style weapon select screen. That's so sick. Alright, so we're gonna use Elect Man to get rid of those turrets up there. Nice. This is so cool, dude. Actually, yeah, we can use item 1 to get past here. Nice. I already love this. This is so amazing. Alright, use Rush Jet to ignore those Mets. Nice. This is literally so cool. Like this is what I looked forward to the most for this during this video. I'm gonna try this. Nice. I do it again here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that threw me off. That threw me off. Okay, hurry. Oh shoot. Hold up. Okay, let me rewind. I think I messed this up. Wait. Okay. Go back a bit. Okay. Nice, perfect. Oh my god, they're gonna hit me. Okay. Get out of my face, please. Alright, it didn't work as I planned, but it didn't work as I planned, but at least I didn't get hit there. Alright, use rush jet to ignore this airman enemy. Nice. I like how when Mega Man's on the rush jet, it doesn't that fan bot doesn't even affect them. It's pretty hilarious. Alright, so just grab some of those right there. Ready? And use top spin to get rid of this guy. I do still wish there was the option to quickly switch weapons, like in like in the X series or in the game starting in the later games starting with Mega Man 7. But yeah, I didn't even know those Bugs Bunny enemies are weak to Woodman. That was something that I discovered in my practice run. Alright, nice. Oh sweet, okay, so we can still skip the Snake Man mini boss with the rush jet. See, I did it in that game, and I'm gonna do it again here. You can still do that in this mode. So yeah, so thank God they didn't patch that out. Alright, get out of here. Pickaxe enemies. I think they're called Picklemen. I think they're called Picklemans or whatever. Alright, do I have Crash Bomb? Do I have Crash Bomb? Oh dang, no I don't. Okay. Okay, because you do need that to. Okay, I'm gonna play it safe. Yeah, you do need that to smash that thing right there. Okay, I probably should have equipped it. All right, what works the best? Okay, so Electman does not work against that Met. Let's see, does Magnum Missile work? Oh yes, it does. Okay, perfect. Okay, take it out in 2 hits. Take him out in 2 hits. Nice. Ow. Whatever, we can just damage boost. Alright, so we're about to come up into Buster Rod, and he's weak to Hard Knuckle. Oh shoot, I didn't equip it. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Dang, I don't know how I forgot. Dang, I made a mistake. Oh my god, I should have equipped it. Crap. Oh no. Damn it, dude. Okay, I may have to take... Okay, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I don't have any of the weapons that he's weak to. Darn it. This sucks. How many lives do I have? Oh my god. I hope I saved. Okay, hold up. We're gonna try this again. Oh my god. Wow, and I didn't save state either. Okay. Okay, I'm really hoping it saved. Okay, I'm gonna reset. I'll reset. So I'm gonna cut until I reach this boss. Alrighty, I'm back. So now I have the Hard Knuckle. So yeah, I did have to replay through this stage again. All because of my stupid mistake. But anyways, this is what Buster Rod.G is weak to. Oh god, okay. Gotta be careful. Okay, so thankfully you can control the trajectory of the Hard Knuckle. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude, hold still. Oh my god. Of course he has a clone attack. Oh my god, please hit. There we go. That was annoying. Anyways, he down. Yeah, I did mention that he's weak to the hard knuckle, but then I got distracted by the by this mode's new elements. Jeez. Anyways, alright, next up is megawater.s. Let's do it. Okay, like his design though. Anyways, so we're gonna need. Alright, so he is weak to the ice slasher. Alright, so we just need that. So that's pretty much that'll be so that will be the mandatory one that we'll need. Yeah, everything else we can just use whatever. Alright, so I keep metal blade. Yeah, I get quick boomerang. What else? What else will we need? I got quick boomerang. I forget the design of the stage, even though I did a practice run. I guess I'll go for this. I guess I'll go for those. I mean, ready, and then get magnet missile. Okay, and hopefully this should work out. Alright, here we go. On to the second stage of the Wily Tower mode. Alright, so get rid of these things right here with Elect Man. Wow, we could just jump over that guy. Alright, so thankfully he is weak to the quick boomerang. Ow. Nice. Come on, get up there. Yes. And coming up, there's gonna be the wheel mini bosses from Bubble Man stage. Okay, got these things from Needle Man, and those things from Bubble Man as well. Wait. Whoosh. Anyway, we're gonna skip this with Rush Jet. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, okay, we're gonna use top spin. Yeah, thankfully these enemies are weak to this move. Okay, nice. Oh my god, okay, the pause keeps throwing me off. I really hate that. That's always so annoying. Anyway, kill this whale mini boss. Alright, I'm gonna take a damage boost. That always works. Nope. Not today. They actually thought they could do something. Now you get out of here. Psh. Psh. Nice. Whoa, okay. Watch out. Now, I love this new music too. It low-key sounds like it comes from a Genesis. It low-key sounds like it comes from an actual Genesis games. It low-key sounds like it comes from an actual Genesis game. So yeah, so definitely to commend both Capcom and Sega for. There's definitely a reason as to why they got the cool-ass Archie crossover as well as Mega Man's appearance in Sonic Racing Crossroads. I'm gonna use this right here. Nice. We can avoid all those completely. Oh man, the magnet beam is still OP even in this mode. All right, so we're about to fight up against Mega Water, and he is weak to Iceman. Let's do it. Hey, there he is. Ah, dang. Little late with my reaction time. Okay, he does have a shield to where he does form a shield around himself. Thankfully, he doesn't do that for long. Oh my god, hold still. There we go. All right, he down. Much easier than Buster Rod. But yeah, we did it. Alrighty, last stage, which is Hyperstorm.h. And wow, he is massive. Look at that big ass mouth that he has. Alright, so he is weak to Firestorm, so we will need that. Yeah, do this so that I don't get sidetracked. So yeah, so we'll still need a Lickman. We are going to use, yeah, so we do need this. And Cutman just in case. Alright, so keep Metal Blade. I guess get this as well. I think that's pretty much it, I think. Okay, I'll take Crash Bomber. Ready, hand. Never unequipping Topspin. And get Snake Man, because why not? Because, why the heck not? Alrighty, I should be good to go. Let's do it. Alrighty, third stage of the Wily Tower mode. Alright, so thankfully, Electman can take care of these Sniper Joes here. Ah, fired a little too early. Psh. Dang it. Hello? Okay, I wonder why that didn't hit. That was weird. Or is it because his anchor was in the way? Alright, nice. Psh. Not today. Haha. Alright, we're gonna use item 1 to bypass these. Okay, didn't work as I planned, but it didn't work as I planned, but I still managed to bypass it. Psh, because they spawn at positions where I didn't want them to spawn in, but either way, doesn't hurt the pace either way. Oh, okay, I didn't even see that. I didn't see that. All right, slide. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, use top spin again. That's right. Top spin is literally the most powerful weapon. Literally the most powerful weapon in this game, or at least one of the most powerful. Alright, throw your thing. Okay. You're gonna have to take this one nice and slow. Nice. Oh, okay, here's where the... Okay, does this work? Let's see. Okay, it does. Shoot. That's fine. They move incredibly fast. Ow. Dang it! Oh my god. I did not have enough time to react to that. This is really annoying. Okay, probably should have stuck to Steak Man. Ow. That was just really annoying right there. Okay, come on, Rush. I need you to spawn, dude. Thank you. So we can ignore that guy. Yes. Alright, and we're gonna use Snake Man again. Okay, close. Okay, probably not the best idea. Not the best idea. Does Cutman do anything? Please tell me. Okay, no it doesn't. No it doesn't. Okay, how about this? There we go. Okay, Electman works against that hedgehog enemy. Alright, I'm gonna use the magnet beam, see if it helps. Alright, perfect. Alright, and kill this with Cutman. Hopefully it works. Come on. Dang, okay, it doesn't work. You know what? Let's try it again. I don't know why I thought that was gonna work. Yeah, kill with Airman. There we go. Jeez, I don't like those enemies. Alright, next up is the garbage enemies, in which we can get rid of a top spin. Whoosh. Nice. And yes, we do have Crash Bomber, so we can blow this up. Oh no! Okay, you need Hard Man for that. Okay, I thought. Darn. Alright, oh well, that's fine. We can just go down here instead. Whoosh. Whoosh. Very nice. Alright, coming up is Hyperstorm himself, and he is weak to the Firestorm. Let's do this. Dang, he's huge. Oh wow, he got 2 health bars? Oh boy. Anyways, yeah, he's gonna try to suck you into him, which thankfully we can avoid by sliding. I mean, he shoots missiles. He shoots pellets. There we go. Alright, he down. He is down. Very nice. Alrighty, and I think next after this is the Wily Fortress. And thankfully there's no boss rush in this mode. Thank God. So now we can just play through these. Now we can just play through these original levels without any reused content. Thank goodness. Alright, so what will we need? Let's see. Alright, I'll take this, because why not? Yeah, because I will need... Yeah, I will need Bubble Lead, as that's what this next boss is. That's what this next boss is weak to. Let's see. Do I need this? Nah, I think I'm good. Alright, we're just gonna stick with the better ones. Metal Blade. Actually, hold up. Let me check this. Actually, yeah, I think I'll still use Cutman. Okay, and actually no, we'll need Iceman. Actually, I just remembered. We'll need Iceman still. Okay. Okay, then. Okay, we'll replace this with Cutman. Okay, alright, so for Mega Man 2 weapons, keep Metal Blade, get Airman, and yes, get Bubble Lead, as we will need that for the boss of this level. Never unequipping Top Spin, and what else will we need? I get Snake Man, because why not? Alrighty, we should be good to go. Let's do this thing. Alright, oop, okay, I forgot up at the start, but yeah, we're gonna bypass this first part with the item 1. Perfect. Alrighty, again, and of course get rid of this. Get rid of these things with a Leg Man. Nice. So I think this one consists of the Mega Man 1 enemies and hazards. So yeah, from what it seems like already. So there are those Suzy enemies right there. There's even the Big Eye enemies. Wonderful. But this time we're gonna avoid them with the Rush Jet. Or actually, we can actually avoid them by sliding. I just remembered. Nice. Too bad you couldn't do that in Mega Man 1. Good stuff right there. Alright, freeze those. Ready, and will this reach? Oh, it reaches. Nice. Perfect. Alright, switch back to the Thunder Beam. Take out that last turret. Alright, go up here. Okay, it's just one. Nicely done. Ready, and use item 1 again. I'll save the magnet beam for a later section. Alright, so here it is right here. Oop. Oh, do I have any E? Oh god, okay, I don't have any E tanks. I don't know. I don't remember where any of them are here. Okay, it's got those Gutsman platforms. Thankfully, we don't need to use them. Alright, very nice. Nice, barely made that. Alright, so we can't avoid those fire waves coming down with the slide. What hit me? Oh wow, okay. I didn't even see that thing. Wonderful. Okay, can we get rid of this? See if this works. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, so we can dodge the fire waves with a little time slide. Nice. One more time. Whoosh. Nice. That's freaking good. Whoosh. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so this time I'm gonna use Rush Jet. Oh shoot. Okay. I didn't see that. Alrighty, it's all good. Alright, so we made it to the end of the level. In which this boss is called Fire Snaky. And he's weak to Bubble Man. Let's do it. Oh my god, I love this background detail. I already said this about Fireman stage in Mega Man 1, but man, it looks even more amazing there. Oh god, okay, flamethrowers. He didn't do that move when I did my practice run. Whoa! Oh my god. Okay, he's gonna do it again. Alright, in any case, I'm gonna do this right here. He is not behaving. Nice. Alright, he's gonna die from the lava. Oh my god. Okay, save. Just in case if he kills me. Cause I don't know where the E-tanks are. I don't know where the E-tanks are in this mode. There we go. Alright, he did. Alrighty, nice. Got a little bit scared there. But we managed to come through. Alrighty, Wily Stage 2. Alright, here we go. Alright, so the boss of this level is weak to the Thunder Beam. So yeah, so we can pretty much just equip any weapon we want, because I think, let's see, because I just realized, but the Thunder Beam, Metal Blade, and Top Spin are the 3 best weapons in this game. So I never go to any stage without unequipping them. Alrighty, so... Alright, get Fireman, because why not? Alright, and for this... Alright, keep Metal Blade, obviously. Take Woodman. Take Crash Man. And... What is it? Alright, I guess only Flash Man for an upcoming part. Alright, and... And take Airman as well. Alright, and I will use a Mega Man 3 weapon, which is gonna be Top Spin, obviously. Alrighty, we should be good to go, hopefully. Actually, no, unequip the okay, so unequip that. Okay, so we're gonna be using only one Mega Man 1 weapon. That'll be the Elect Beam. Okay, the rest of these are gonna be Mega Man 2 and 3 weapons. Okay, Metal Blade. Yeah, so we will use Metal Man, we'll use Airman. Get Quick Boomerang. Crash Bomb just in case. And Woodman. Or actually no, replace this with Flashman just in case if I might need it. Okay. Alright, and 2 Mega Man 3 weapons. Alright, so Top Spin and Magnum Missile again. So hopefully we should have all that we need. So I just need to double check to make sure. Alright, really hoping this will work. Let's do it. Ready? I'm gonna save state just in case. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, so thankfully we can hit these those snail-like enemies from here. Where you going, bro? Stop moving. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, alternatively we can just use the quick boomerang. Nice. Alright, so I think this part I may have to take it nice and slow. Alright, so I'm not gonna use Flashman just yet. Until a certain part. Oh boy. Oh my god, does top spin work on these enemies? Okay, no they don't. They do not. Alright, so I use Magnum Missile just in case. Okay, it does. Okay, so Magnum Missile does work on those Metroid-like enemies there. Nice. Alright, so we're gonna take this path. Because thankfully, I do have the Crash Bomber. Nice. Oh, okay, it's got the frog enemy, and there's the E-Tank. Okay, perfect. This is perfect. Okay, quick boomerang. Oh, no, that's not an E-Tank. Dang, I got fooled. Whatever. Dang, I thought that was an E-Tank. Darn. Because I don't have any. I don't know where any of them are. I haven't played this one in 4 years. Can I get up there? Yes. I got okay. Use Woodman here to shield ourselves. Okay, never mind. They still hit me anyway. Wonderful. Oh my god. Okay, just do this. Alright, no matter. Okay, thankfully, do I have Airman? I didn't get Airman. Oh my god. Okay, so gonna have to do this old-fashioned way. Oh my god, I don't know what's the best weapon against these enemies. Oh my god, not even a Legman is doing that much. Okay. Okay, there we go. Dang, I should have equipped it Airman. I feel so dumb for that. And get him out of the way, and him too. Ready, and bypass this with the item 1. Oh god, okay, this guy's here too. Nice. There might be another one, I think. I think there was... No? Okay. Alright, good. Alright, get rid of this. Can we kill this with Magnum Missile? Okay, well they take a lot of hits. Alright, so just stick with this then. Nice. Alright, refill. Alright, skip this with the Magnum Beam if we can. Perfect. Yeah, you can literally get past that. You can literally get past that in multiple ways. It's really cool. Alright, so this time we're gonna use Flashman here. To make sure nothing will hit us. Oh nice, okay, so it leads to the E-Tank. Alright, hurry. Okay, we finally got an E-Tank, and what's up here? Oh, okay. Oh god, okay. It's got the telebots. Wonderful. Okay, do this. Come on. Okay, thank god. Okay, get rid of the Magnet Missile. Bop. Alrighty. Anything else up here? No? Okay, well, there's nothing up here. So what's the point of that then? No, wait, we can kill these with Woodman. I just remembered. Nice. Darn. Okay, how far back does it set me? Okay, no, we're not doing that again. Rewind feature. Alright, perfect. I kill that dude. Kill this guy as well, if we can. I got the airman enemies this time. Does this kill? Nope, okay, it does not. They are immune to the magnet missile. Wonderful. Ow. Yeah, I'm gonna use Rush Jet here this time around. Oh my god. Let me pass, please. Freaking jerks. Okay, yeah, I think I used every weapon. Just making sure. Gonna climb down. And we could just ignore that Sniper Joe. You gotta work on your aim, bro. Ready? Get the Thunder Beam. As that is the weak. That is this next boss right here called the Iron Ball is weak to Electman. Dang it! I thought I was gonna bounce higher. Ow. Nice, easy. Easy peasy. Let's go. And I think there are two more. Yeah, there are two more stages after this. Oh my god. Yeah, I thought I was gonna get this video up by Monday, but unfortunately I don't have time to edit it. It's already 8:43 where I live right now, so it'll probably be going up on Tuesday instead. Okay. All right, so we good. Okay, no. Okay, so we will need. Oh nope, I didn't mean to hit that. All right, so get Fireman. Metal Blade, never unequipping it. Also get Air Shooter. I for some reason didn't equip it for the last stage. All right, and any quick boomerang. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So for this top spin, obviously. Alrighty, and this next boss is weak to. Yeah, I think this next boss is weak to Hard Knuckle, if I remember correctly. Really hoping it is. Okay, so we're gonna do this right here. Okay, so we are going to equip it. Okay, get back to Madden Meme. I accidentally unequipped it up. Alrighty, let's go. Let's save state. Alrighty, so get rid of this. Or we can just use the Rush Jet. Alright. No need to deal with any of these. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, just use top spin. Can I get this guy from down here? Let's see. Yes, I can. In your face. Alright, it's got the mucky enemies, which are weak to top spin. Whoosh. Use top spin. Yeah, I really wish you can quick swap between weapons. Would have been nice. Because the Sega Genesis had like the Sega Genesis had the had the X, Y, and Z buttons, so it would have been nice for a game like this though. It is what it is. Okay, we don't need that. You don't need that E-tank. Nice. Ready, and just keep on climbing. These things will not hit you. Oh my god, I keep mistiming my I keep mistiming it. And that's fine. see if this works. It does. Perfect. Wow, and that guy missed completely. Freaking idiot. Whoa. Okay. Close one. Alright. I don't have Woodman. But this should also work. There you go. I grab this. And are we in outer space right now? Kind of looks like it. Hard to tell though. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna use Magnum Beam again. Alright, perfect. Alright, hurry up, despawn. Yes. Alright, kill these with. Yeah, kill these with the leg man. Does it work? It does not. Dang it. Okay, use Metal Blade. Perfect. Whoa! Oh god. Okay. I forgot about these. I forgot about these enemies spawning here. What else? Okay. Shoot. Okay, use Rush Shot. Perfect. Already hand this dude as well. Okay, forget it. Keep on moving ahead. Alrighty, next boss is week 2. The Hard Knuckle. And I believe it's a Buster Raji again. Yep, he's back. Okay, so I just remembered. So during our first fight against him, he didn't actually explode. So yep, he's back for revenge. Oh wow, in this setting right now. Wow. Dang, and he still gets destroyed, and he actually dies this time. Like, what is the point of this guy? Like he gets defeated the first time, and then he comes back only to be defeated again. Like, there's literally no point in that. Like, not even any special dialogue or whatever. Anyways, on to the final stage of the Wily Tower. Alrighty, so this next boss is, or this final boss rather, is weak to Thunderbeam. Is weak to the Thunderbeam, Firestorm, and yeah, it's weak to the Thunderbeam. For the second and third phases, the second phase is weak to Fire, man. Alright, so we will be needing those. Alright, so I just need Thunderbeam and Fire and Firestorm, and I already have both. Yeah, that should be good. So save state just in case. Alrighty, let's do it. I jump down here. And watch out for that fish. Wait. Yeah, okay, hold up. Okay, let me reload. Okay, so there's some weapons that I might need for a few instances. For a few instances right there. Okay, never unequipping those. Okay, so for this, I will need Flashman. I'll also need Woodman. And that's pretty much it. I guess Heatman. I haven't even used this once. Let's see. Alright, Top Spin. Never unequipping it. And Magnum Missile. They're like the two best weapons, despite the fact that the Magnum Missile got heavily nerfed in this game. Okay. So I should have everything I need. Okay, yes. Alrighty, let's get started. Yes. Alrighty, equip Woodman. Because these drill enemies are back from Metal Man stage. Ouch. Ow. Yeah, I'm gonna use Flashman here. I don't have time to wait for any of this. Actually, yeah, I can. Okay, never mind. I don't think I need it. Unless if I'm speedrunning, that is. Wow, it's even got the blood things from Wily Stage 5 from that game. Really suck. Very nice. Oh, Proto Man's here. And what's his purpose? Okay, blow up that. So just blow up that hole there. So wow, now he literally just does the same thing as he did in Mega Man 6 and in Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. So yeah, so he still has a minimal role in this game. Alright, jump right in. Oh whoa! Wow, you don't even get to see the full thing. What? Anyways, so this first phase, week 2, the Thunder Beam. Whoosh. Bop. Whoosh. Wow, it is going down super easily. Wow. So we just destroyed his legs. Alright, so we're gonna use item 2 to get up on his hands. Oh dang it. Gotta try again. No, dude, Wily, please. Don't be a douche. Oh god. It would even let me use my weapons. Dang. Yeah, I really hate how you can't I really hate how you can't pause the game while a weapon or special item is active. Yeah, let's all right. This time I'm gonna lock in. I did that in my practice runs, but for some reason Wily just chose not to let me this time. Shoot. Come on, you're dead. Hurry up. Oh my god. This is literally Mega Man 4's version of the boss getting health thingy. No. Okay, thank god. Alright, hurry up and despawn. Hurry up and despawn. Okay, yes. Alright, so that I can do this. Yes, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. Saves a lot of time there. Alrighty, last phase. We'll use my E10 because I do not trust them. Yes. Psh, 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 psh. Up. There we go. Easy peasy. Well, they got lucky the first time, but not this time. Alright. And he does the please forgive me pose again. How many times has he done this now? I already lost count. For all the games that I've covered in this retrospective. And what is that? Oh wow, he threw a bomb? Yeah, you're Mega Man's definitely gonna beat you up after that. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Goodness. And of course, the entire Wily Tower explodes. I mean, this did happen in the previous game, so it ain't shocking anymore. Alrighty, and with that is the end of Mega Man: The Wily Wars. I think this might be the longest Mega Man video for this retrospective, since it's literally a remake of the first 3 games, accompanied with this original mode, to where it allows you to use all weapons from each game. And yeah, I love the idea behind it. It's really great. And again, as I said previously, I do wish more Mega Man games had this kind of thing, to where you get to use weapons and items from previous games all in one mode. The only other game that did that was the X Challenge mode in the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, to where X can use weapons from any of the first 6 Mega Man X games. But yeah, all in all though, Mega Man: The Wily Wars, is it a perfect remake? To be honest, no. Perhaps, in fact, it's actually far from it. Now there are some improvements that I do enjoy. There are some improvements in this port that I do like, to where Mega Man 1 does feel better to play. Mega Man is no longer slippery, and he can climb ladders faster and everything. And I do like how the top spin for the Genesis Mega Man 3 has been completely buffed, to where Mega Man no longer gets pushed back. But all the other changes, though, not a big fan of, especially since you can't perform some of these same glitches like you could in the NES originals. So yeah, all in all, it's a mixed bag. Wow, and Wily just tripped on that rock there. You know what, Mega Man, you literally just could have shot Wily. You could have just shot Wily right then and there. Jeez. Anyways, thank you for playing. Presented by Capcom. Yeah. And I was also gonna say that I kind of wish he had done what he had said in Mega Man 7, even if that was a mistranslation. Even that was a mistranslation error, but yeah. But anyways, everyone, that is it for my video on Mega Man: The Wily Wars. So glad to have covered this game for the Mega Man retrospective. And again, the last time I played through this game fully was 4 years ago. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. So I don't know how long this will be, since I did have to record Mega Man 1 and 2 for a whole hour each. So I feel like for this one, I don't know, it's probably gonna be up to 3 hours. So yeah, so this video is probably gonna be going up by Tuesday, since I don't really have the time to edit this whole thing. But yeah, so next game in the Mega Man retrospective, we'll be back with the mainline games, starting with Mega Man 9, as we're going to be going back to the Legacy Collection 2 to be covering the last 2 games on there, which is going to be that and Mega Man 10, and then eventually will be Mega Man 11, and then after that we can finally move on to the X series, and which I do look forward to. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day, night, evening, depending on which time zone you're in, and I will see you all in my next video. So peace out, take care, and stay safe.